2.
Episode 2.
We're going to do it again.
All right. Hello. This is episode 2 of the Brandon Correia podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Brandon Correia. To my right, I got my good lifelong friend and your co-host, Damar.
Thank you for having me, man, again. I'm excited to be here. A lot has happened, so it feels good to be back here and ready for episode number 2, man. Can't wait.
Yes, and we didn't think this was going to be a jam-packed episode.
No, we didn't.
We thought this was just going to be like a not too long one, but you know what I mean, like Joe Budden says, for those people that watch when there's nothing to pod about, the pod gods give you something. So
the pod gods gave us a lot,
and we got some good stuff. Obviously, everybody knows that Drake album dropped, so that's going to be the bulk of the podcast. And honestly, like your boy is lucky. I don't want to get into this yet, but I just need to state this. This is the pod to watch between me and you, because obviously, we both do like him.
Yeah, you are very critical.
Very, very,
very critical of him.
So he is lucky that we didn't have like a pod plan, like say like the day after.
Yeah,
he surprise dropped. Because honestly, I just want to state this, and then I'm gonna get into my little intro. But had we recorded, say the day after it came out, I would have came out here and tore that album up. Like
Thank God.
Like it would have been like a angry kind of irate Brandon, which I didn't think that we were gonna get on the podcast this early.
Yeah.
And this is where it's just like I'm like, say where this guy would just come already early in our podcast journey, because if there's one guy to kind of get me to that point with me breaking down his work, it's him.
And you know what? I'm surprised that we even got, like, I know this is our second episode. I'm surprised we even got a Drake topic this early. Like, I didn't expect, you know what I mean? So this is like also
like
exciting. Exactly.
It's like Christmas. It's honestly like
this
Christmas.
This is a good gift for me and you for episode 2 for sure.
I agree. So before we get into that,
yep.
Some little, so how you been? How you been since the last
I've been
podcast?
good, man. I've been good. I've been, just graduated from my program in broadcasting.
Don't have the gunshot noises yet, but gunshots.
For sure.
Congrats, fam.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And, I'm just looking to take that next step in my broadcasting journey. And I think this is definitely one way to definitely practice and to definitely, just enhance my overall broadcasting experience. And I'm extremely happy to be here right now. And I'm extremely blessed to, be having that opportunity and graduating, and I'm just happy to be here and ready to go and talk with one of my good friends about some great topics. So
for sure. And honestly, like I was saying before we started, like seeing you excited for this stuff gets me even more excited. Obviously you've been seeing me posting, just trying to get the channel
for sure
more popping. So obviously, like seeing you excited, like gets me more excited and wants me to like obviously push and start to, think of more shit just to push, keep pushing it. So that's good to hear. And congrats again.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And how are things with you? How are the kids?
Kids are good. Stressful.
Yeah.
Just like kids are doing. Kenzo's getting to that age where it's getting into that tantrum kind of age, and the baby. Honestly, we thought would be a little easier with regards to sleeping, but it's still just
the same
not
thing.
Sleeping. And like it's funny because I was watching. Shiggy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He dropped a video on TikTok, and I was dying because he was like, yo, like, I don't know who came up with the phrase sleep like a baby. Because that's facts, though.
Yeah. Well, I don't have that experience
He's
yet,
like, I don't want that sleep. And I was like, I don't want that sleep either, because they don't sleep. Like, yo, they don't sleep. Like, yo, that phrase is not correct. That phrase is not correct. But other than that, honestly, they're good. Honestly, loving father life. Like, I enjoy the time that I get with them. Like,
that's what's up.
They're good.
That's what's
and
up.
I'm good. So quick random question, has nothing to even do with the main topics. This is just a random question.
Yep.
Is there a scary movie from your childhood that scarred you?
No,
because you saying you were always kind of about them.
I'm cool with scary movies. I think if there's one,
even from like a young age.
You know what's crazy about scary movies? I think one of the few that's actually scared me as a child, maybe that wouldn't say really traumatized me. Jeepers Creepers is one of them. The first one.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't like that. That threw me off because that seems like a realistic.
I have one. I know. Yeah, I hear
that seems like the most realistic.
I definitely have one. I definitely have one.
And I would say probably the Final Destination series, the very first one, on its own.
Just because that is
something that
can actually just kind of
just be a coincidence. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So those two kind of, and I think they're really gory, like The Exorcist or Texas Chainsaw Massacre, stuff like that. But more so just like the ones that get your brain moving to think, oh, this could actually happen to me.
For me, it's The Ring.
Really? Just putting in a movie and just seeing someone
and
like
just seeing some bitch. Yo, excuse my language, but I'm sorry. Like, I've thought about this like a lot. Like
putting it, but like now everything's digital, so it's like, how would that even happen now?
Yo, I sent you a link. I sent you this link. Open it, yo. Yeah. It's the sickest movie you've ever seen. Yo,
I think as a kid, I never really had the fear of putting in a VHS movie that I like or that I don't know. That's not.
I think it was more the idea of the girl just coming out the TV, and because I had a TV in my room when I was like 6. You know what I mean? I think it was the idea of just, yo, like, what if I go to sleep and my TV just pops on and it's just a static screen?
Yeah, nah, I don't think.
Yo, are you crazy? No. So that was definitely the one for me. Also, okay, so next random question. This is not a question actually, but have you seen that they've been discontinuing plastic bags?
Yeah, just it was so funny. I went to Walmart today to buy a frame for my diploma,
and it's a paper bag.
And it was like a blue. I went to Walmart. It was like a blue like
some nonsense
fabric bag. Yeah, I was like, "Do you have plastic?" Because now on the self checkouts, you have to select if you want a bag.
Yeah, so they only have paper or reusable.
Crazy.
So the fabric one is the reusable, which is crazy. Superstore actually still has plastic bags, but it's funny because
no, I'm at to stock up with some plastic bags still.
So it's funny because I'm just like, don't they literally when I go to Superstore, like I will get, say I need like 2 bags worth.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get 5 bags just to have them extra bags. That's me though. And it's funny because it's just like, I feel like it's such a black person thing to just collect plastic bags.
It's a thing.
Like I don't know if I don't know if your household has one,
I
have
a lot. And that's what I'm saying. I have a lot.
The majority of like my aunts, uncles, like my cousins that are like around my age and older, like I know they have drawer fulls of plastic bags, and it's just like they don't know we've been preparing for this.
That's crazy.
We got plastic bags. Like we got them.
That will
hold
us over for months.
We're good. We'll be
you know what's so funny? Even with the black culture, we sometimes they even have they put their lunches in plastic bags.
Yes, like it's a lunchbox. Like we have those. We have them. So don't worry about us, Walmart. We got them.
No, we're good. We're stocked.
All right. So the topic that everybody has been waiting for, the topic that I've been waiting for. Tell the truth, DeMar. You were dreading coming in the studio with me. After this album dropped.
No, I wouldn't say more so dreaded. I would say more so excited to actually, like, honestly, to just actually be excited to come in here and talk to you about it, whether it goes great or not between you and I after. But I'm ready. I'm definitely ready for the debate, man.
No, I hear you. And obviously I'm being dramatic, but we obviously, even outside of the pod, obviously now we have the pod to talk about it, but before we started the pod, we would obviously have our in-depth conversations regarding this stuff, especially like when it came to like album dropping. Like whenever we would like catch each other on box after an album drop, we would be on there for a while.
After everyone's gone, pretty much. Yeah.
Breaking down the album. So obviously I'm being a little bit dramatic, but obviously outside of the pod, we would talk about it. Just us. Now we're putting it out there for the public, so that's why I'm being a little bit dramatic.
Before we get into it, I must say it's kind of crazy that we actually like. Obviously, we spoke about the album, but we didn't really like get in depth into it, and that's like something like obviously through text we usually are just like, yeah, the album's good, whatever. We didn't really go in depth, and we didn't have that Xbox conversation about it. So like now we have this, and I'm pretty excited to have it, especially on this.
Yeah. Okay. So. Now that you're letting me know that you're excited, I'm excited to get into this as much as, you know what I mean? Like I said, I had we recorded this right after.
Wouldn't have gone well. Like after?
It wouldn't have gone well. And again, like I would have been more abrasive. It would have been like, I wouldn't have really had that much to say because I wouldn't have had time to process it.
And that's the thing. And like, I'm glad like we had like this full, like, what is it? Yeah, we've had a week and a week and a couple of days to really take it in.
Yeah. So
you're gonna start off?
I don't know if I want to let you start or if
that's what I was thinking. I was always thinking, I'm like, who's gonna start this one off?
I don't know who's gonna. I don't know if I want to hear what you have to say first.
I think it's best if you go first, to be honest. So yeah, get into it, bro.
Okay. Okay.
Where do we even begin on it?
That's where I'm like, where do I even start?
I think we gotta start with
this fucking guy.
I think we gotta start with just the album in itself.
Okay, so obviously we heard about the surprise.
Okay, so we gotta go back to so obviously, I sent a couple 6ix posts or some rumors that were going around saying
No, the first thing I got was the cap locks direct text message from you being like,
oh yeah,
Drake, he's dropping a surprise album like tonight. That was the very first thing that I saw. Then
there was weeks before where I was like, there was like speculations that he was going to be dropping.
Was there?
There was. I sent a post from 6ix in there
okay,
that's saying that he was dropping a summer album, but
yeah, okay,
you know what I mean? But yeah, so yeah, came out. I sent you those texts, and then about maybe a couple hours later, I sent you the track list. 15 tracks, and that was like the biggest thing for me because you're so big, especially with having arguments with Drake with you and his albums. The track listing, the number of tracks was like, oh, this actually might be a solid one, maybe, or this might be a little bit more focused one, which the album is. And before we get into that,
number of tracks for me is a big thing for sure.
And 14 was like,
okay, and that's how much this is.
15. 14 or 50. I think it's 14.
So
14.
Yeah, which is it is. You're right. And yeah, which is
without the intro, it's 13, and that's
is different than what he's usually
is shocking.
Puts out.
Which is shocking.
Okay, so again, I've had time to take it in and break it down a little bit. So my initial thoughts, I ain't gonna hold you. I thought that shit was ass.
No, honestly, my first impressions of it was like, I don't know if I'm about this, because I texted you that maybe like an hour into it, and I was like, I don't think I'm about this.
No, but not even for me. I wasn't even like, no, not even. I'm not about this. Like, I was like, this is ass. Right? Like, I was not feeling it at all. And like before, and what I want to get into first, actually, also. And this is where it's like I may come off a little aggressive and a little
No, you're good.
You know me.
Yeah,
you know how I am. This is what I wasn't expecting. This guy, this is the one man to bring it out. Okay. I wouldn't call you, I'm not gonna call you a Drake stan. Mm-hmm. What would you call yourself? Maybe like a couple notches below that?
I would say that, yeah.
A big fan.
I would say I'm a big fan. I'm a big Drake fan.
I will attest that you are still able to stay unbiased to a degree. I know there's still a little bit of bias.
There is a little bias, but
because he's your favorite artist.
For sure. And even with the bias, I'm always will be understandable on your end from it too. Because there's a lot of things that you say that I agree on, but I'm like, yes. But like, you know what I mean?
So that's where it's like, I don't want to call you like a stan. I'm not gonna call you a Drake stan.
Because I've seen some Drake stans on the internet, man. They're crazy. Because I don't think I'm that. I bought a lot of his stuff. You know what I mean? I'm like, you know what I mean?
No.
So, you know what I mean? I'm a fan. I'm a big fan.
You're a big fan. Okay, so would you call me a Drake hater?
Oh, that's tough, man. Because a lot of people that claim that they're Drake haters, I wouldn't say
I don't think I'm a Drake hater.
I don't think so either. There's a lot of guys that don't think they're Drake haters too, but are haters.
That are actually haters.
And that's the thing. It's like,
and I agree with that. And like, I don't like. We have a friend that roasts Drake all the time.
I got a couple people in my work who feel the same way. So it's like I get it. And obviously Curtis too.
And that's what I was talking about. Like, and I wouldn't say that he's a hater, but there are, you know what I mean? Like I do. There are times where I sense it from him a bit. Mm-hmm. Where like, just a little bit, not major, but just a bit. Mm-hmm. So that's where it's just like, I know, and again, like I know when I say these things, like I may come across as a hater, but like that's where it's like I wanted to ask you if you think that I'm a hater.
I don't think you're a Drake hater. No. I just think you're really critical of him.
I think I'm really critical of Drake because not only like we mentioned in the first pod, we're from Toronto. So his influence has had a big influence on us, especially because his run really started when we were starting to go outside. Not just like 16, 17 messing with girls, even going to jams and parties and things. Like we were actually able to go to clubs, drink, when he was going on his big run. Yeah. So I don't want nobody to tell me about Drake. Because we were the one that felt the Drake influence the most.
100%. Our generation for sure.
And it was when we were outside. So
we really got that full
experience. So we got him when we were in the club. I remember hearing I'm on one at Roy. That shit hit.
Yeah.
That shit hit. So I don't want nobody to tell me that, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know Drake or I'm just a hater. Mm-hmm. He's changed the entertainment just like scene in Toronto, like so much, just single-handedly.
Yep.
I will always give him his dues and his credit for that, especially because I'm an actor, and I'm trying to get going in that industry too, and I'm in Toronto, so it's just like I appreciate what he's done for this area, right? So that's why I wanted to confirm with you if like you think that I'm a hater.
No, I do not. I do not think you're a hater.
I think I am really critical of him just because I know that in areas, and like I know that he can be elite,
and that's the
elite,
thing.
Not just good or great, elite. So that's where I get, you know what I mean? And you're dying, but it's just that's where I had to come across, and I don't want these people to be like, and again, like I said, if we recorded this right after, it may have came off as hate. Mm-hmm. Right now, I've softened up a little bit, but I don't want people to now hear it and be like, yo, like, people that just think that the album's fire or really good, because I'm not saying it's fire, they think that I'm hating. I don't want to hear that. And I don't want to hear also in the comments either. Again, I'm getting my shit off right now, but I don't want to hear in the comments either, or like anything about this guy's like a father, or like, you know what I mean? Like this guy has like his woman, and like, like this guy's chilling at home, and like, this is for music. Like when you're on vacation and by a beachside, let these motherfuckers know what my passport say, what my passport's looking like.
It's looking good. You're out
my
there.
Passport's stamped, right?
Yeah.
My passport's stamped. I've been to islands. I'm the man that went to Amsterdam Dolo.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
I'm the man that met my woman in Spain, and we traveled multiple places in Spain, in Portugal. I'm the man that was about to go to Rock of Gibraltar in Africa. That's what I'm on. My passport's stamped, so I'm overseas, even in Europe, hearing sounds and hearing stuff. So I'm places, I'm traveled. I just want to get my shit off before people try and come at me and say that I'm hating. Because not only from the Drake side am I mad critical, and like I feel like I do know what I'm talking about with regards to him, because yes, I'd always give his content a chance. Even like I told you, like I said, I wasn't going to give this another chance. Mm-hmm. I literally listened to it 3-4 times because I was like, I'm not going to go into there.
I'm shocked you did.
I was like, I'm not going to go in there and talk about it ill-advised or ill-informed. That's where it's just like, I want people to know, like, I do my homework and I prepare. Just like you wanted me to listen to an album, I went and I listened to it from beginning to end, so I would know I could at least come to you with some stuff. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm prepared, so I just want to get that off. And I know I may seem a little hot and a little...
No, you're good.
A little aggressive, but I just need to clear that up for the Drake supporters that may come at me and think that I'm hating, because I do have a lot to say.
It's good that you're getting that off now, because even there's a lot of Drake haters that will even be like to the point where it's like, oh, like, you didn't even put us on, like blah blah. I'm like, oh, come on, man. Like,
yeah.
I mean, that's crazy.
That's crazy. That's crazy to think. That's
even
crazy.
If you don't like, you gotta be crazy if you don't think he really put us on the map like that.
So,
but yeah, let's get into the album.
Now that I got that off, and I mean, I feel a little bit lighter, we can get into the album.
Yep.
Like I said, first listen, I thought this shit was ass. And to a degree, I don't want to say I still think it is, because like it's hard. Like let me talk about the things that I commend him for. So again, yes, I commend him for trying it, right? And attempting the dance album. Mm-hmm. What I don't like from other people is people using that to increase the actual goodness of the album.
I don't agree with that. I agree with like what you're saying, but I don't agree what the people are.
But there's a lot of people that will be like, you have to commend him for trying it.
No, I do.
And I agree, but it still doesn't make the album just great or good.
No. That's true.
So I commend him for that. I will also say, this is probably his second most focused project.
Wow, that's shocking.
With regards to tone.
That's shocking to hear from you.
It probably goes Nothing Was the Same, which I've mentioned to you many times, I think is his best album.
Yeah. Which I'm starting to lean more to late, like, more now that its age is longer.
Yeah, and I do see a lot of videos randomly come up that stated, like, it's just like, it was the most cohesive. It had a similar tone throughout, similar kind of theme and just feeling throughout.
Yeah.
That was his most well put together album.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like I'm leaning more to putting it number one over Take Care. I'm leaning there.
Like, Take Care has bigger bops, and we've said this. Take Care has songs that I go back to and I'm like, that's a monster. That's a monster. But when I look at the entire album, like, to me, Nothing Was the Same. Is number one. I'm not saying that.
You wouldn't say If You're Reading This isn't focused either?
Yes, but I might put that third.
Okay.
Below this one.
Yeah,
honestly, never mind.
Yeah.
Right? And again, I'm not saying that because it's the most focused, it's the second best. Like, I'm saying
it's his most focused. Like,
all I'm saying is I do think it is his second most probably focused album with regards to theme and tone, and it's all kind of, this is what it is. And there's no like vibe here, vibe there, vibe this, vibe that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it is focused. So I'll give him that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else and I'm not trying to like be funny or anything. Like, I'm really trying to think if there are other positives that I was trying to draw from the album. Mm-hmm. I don't know off the top if there's any like positive things that you kind of like.
No, honestly, like the two things that you mentioned, that the fact that it was it's his most focused, and you rate him for trying.
Yes.
So yeah.
So it's the most focused, and commend him for trying a dance album,
which I agree with.
And like a full dance album, even though, and again, like, I know it's kind of like, it feels like I'm taking away from it now, even though he has sprinkled maybe bits of dance tracks throughout his albums. Mm-hmm. Not like all of them, maybe might just be a one track that kind of catches that bop.
Honestly, for me, when going through this, by the third song, by the third song, I was like, by Text Go Green, I'm like, is this the vibe of the album? And then I get to call.
I thought he was trolling when I sent that to the chat. Like, I honestly was like, and that's how, when I like, again, going back to like, if we recorded right after, like, I really thought this was fucking ass.
No, I hear you.
Like, to the point where like, I was like, he's trolling us. Like, I was like, he is honestly trolling us. Like, I'm like, he knows that if he could drop this,
people are gonna listen.
This trash, and people are just gonna listen anyway. Like, I dead ass thought he was trolling.
And for me, it's like, by the time I got to call him my name, I'm like, wow, like, this really might be the whole thing. And by probably flights booked, I accepted that's what it was.
Well, at that point, it was deep in. Flights booked is like,
so my bad. By getting to calling my name, I'm thinking, okay, this is like damn near. This is like by calling my name, I'm like, okay, I just finished the 6th song. This is getting towards half the album. Maybe the other half is rap, or maybe the other half is this poppy shit. And it was the same thing till Jimmy Cooks. And you know what I mean? And that's where, at that point, it was hard for me to accept I can listen to this, because that's what I was done. I was like, I don't know if I'm about this. You know what I mean? I was like, I don't know if I'm about listening to this over and over again. And
so
go on, continue.
So the first half to me, like, again, like, I'm gonna come across as a fucking hater. I'm gonna come across as a hater.
Do you not like
the first half to me is ass?
When does it get better for you?
The first chunk.
So like to to where?
There's certain songs. Let me see the track list. Honestly, Calling My Name.
So up to there?
I like, so again, Calling My Name is actually one of the songs instrumentally
that
I actually like. Calling My Name.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of instrumentals on this that I actually don't mind.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, I like this more instrumentally.
Instrumentally, I actually catch myself bopping to it.
Mm-hmm. And
even Shanaz was saying, and did you see that message that I sent you?
Which one?
Where it was like the Text Go Green lyrics, and it was like an eye rolling emoji.
Yeah.
On God, she sent me that randomly out of nowhere, because she was listening to the album herself.
Mm-hmm.
Out of nowhere, because she was just like, "Yo, these lyrics."
I don't mind. Here's the thing, like the lyrics are not the greatest, but especially in the song Texco Green, like he's kind of like, just talking about getting back with a girl and saying you don't need to move like this, and I can.
So this is my problem. So again, going back to the instrumentals, I actually don't. I really enjoy. Mm-hmm. And it's to the point where I don't know if one of the Dead End Hip Hop man said it, but I was even thinking too, where I was just like, it's even to the point where it's just like, I would have preferred, there's certain techno songs that have no lyrics.
Mm-hmm. You would just prefer if there was no lyrics.
And not to diss the man, but if he had like an ad lib, or if like maybe he came in on the track and he was just talking one time and then it went back to the intro. You know what I'm saying, right? Yeah. Where it was just like, because think about it, certain dance music is like that, where it's like there isn't lyrics, right? So it's like it's like, I wouldn't have minded where it's just like some of those instrumentals which weren't actually bad, just playing the instrumental with maybe some of his ad libs over it.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Going to the content, another one of my negatives was I just felt like not only was the content lacking, but it didn't fit with the theme of the album.
Instrumentally, you mean?
To me, it's like, if you're making a dance album that's supposed to be for the clubs and going out, why are you talking about the still same whining about your tings and about no, real talk though, because it's like he was getting off some toxic bars in some of these songs. There was one that I wrote down that I heard it and I was just like, only Drake could get off that bar, and somehow with a techno melody.
Mm. What bar was it?
Yo, let me see if I actually wrote it down. I'm cheese. Like I don't think I did. It was like, it might have been in one of the first songs, like
it's probably Texco Green.
Falling Back or Texco Green, but it was just like, it was a toxic bar that I was just like, it doesn't fit the instrumental behind it, and it's just like he's talking his regular shit that he talks all the time, but just over dance beats, and that's where like I was like confused in that sense. Of like the focus, you know what I mean? Like the focus of the album, because it's just like you'd think that it would be more like him talking about going out to the club and just having a good time and drinking and stuff.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of like
toxic bars,
toxic ting talk over dance beats, which I was like, this makes no sense to me. Right? Yeah, I don't know if there's anything you want to get in.
Honestly, man, like I said, the first listen, I was just like, I don't know if I can do this. It did progress over. Once you go back to it and you play other songs individually, songs that like you remember like that stood out to you.
Yeah. You
go back and you're like, okay, this song's actually not that bad. There's a lot of songs where I didn't like the first time, where I went back by the third listen, I'm like, this is actually not that bad.
And it's not that bad. So instrumentally, like I was saying, it's not that bad. And so again, linking that to one of the other negatives that I had, and where I also linking it to the fact that I was like, is this guy trolling? I honestly felt like, yes, he was trying it and commend him for trying, but it felt lazy. And I was like, when I listen to the beats, as much as they're techno beats, they don't hit like that same deep bass like techno songs actually are supposed to. Like, you've heard the Beyonc song?
Yeah.
Right? So I'm gonna play this. This is a DJ on like TikTok who took Calling My Name and added it. And I know this fucking guy. I'm telling you, this is the only guy that could round me up like this. Because I know he does everything calculated. And when I show this, I know a reason that he made this album was exactly for this reason. And I know some of y'all out there didn't even think about this point. Okay? When I say some of the instrumentals was simple, was kind of like lazy, and then I show you what this DJ did to Calling My Name, I was just like, if you gave me this, a whole album of this, I would have said that album might have been your best album.
Let's hear it.
If you were making a hit. Okay?
This beat sounds better.
You hear the difference?
Yeah.
There's just that extra layer. And he did it so that the DJs could take his songs
and do it in
the club.
Smart.
And he is a smart motherfucker.
Because this sounds good.
It sounds great.
Yeah.
And I was like, if I got this, I would have been murdering this album. And it didn't even hit yet, Dims. The beat didn't even hit yet.
Yeah, that's crazy still.
Like, what are you talking about? That's what I'm saying. Don't come to me and tell me that this shit was elite. This sounds more elite. Okay? The beats were lazy. They were not bad. And I don't want people to be coming to me saying I'm a hater. This album, and I told you, I softened up a bit. This album was mid. It wasn't bad. And I agree. It's not bad music. Mm-hmm. It's not bad, and it's not bad music. I will say that. But for people to come to me and say that it's good or elite dance music, it's not. Because that man added a little bit of spice to it, and that sounds more elite. Beyonce dropped her one single, and I'm not saying it was the greatest thing, but it sounds like it had more life to it than anything on this album.
Yep.
More life, more vibrant.
I wouldn't say
even the message.
I wouldn't say it sounds better than Sticky. I think Sticky sounds better.
I'm not even a big fan of that
I'm not
song.
either, but I think that beat sounds better than that song on the Beyonce
No,
song.
and you're right, but I'm not even talking about just straight beat. I'm just talking about
the song.
I'm talking about the life of the song, just like the vibrancy of you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like the beats in the Aubrey album are like kind of just like lower. It's just like it's not hitting like that techno like it was in that song. And that's where I was just like, I felt like one of my biggest criticisms was I felt like it was lazy and rushed. And even though it may not have been, and it may have been like in the works for a minute, the beats, it seemed like he made it more for the DJ, for the clubs to be playing it for them to flip it and get it even more play, which it's going to do.
Yep, 100%.
So, yeah, like... And again, like, it's not bad music, but like I was saying, the first half to me isn't the greatest. I like Calling My Name. And again, like I said, like I played that Flip for You. Mm-hmm. Like that sounded way, you know what I mean? Like that sounded way better. And again, like there's a couple more joints on the album that like I do like the instrumentals to, and we could get in when we break down the track list and stuff. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that was just another one of my criticisms where I really just felt like it was lazy.
No, I agree with you with that. It sounds like it's lazy, but I don't think it is. I think, well, I don't know. I can't say that. I can't say that it is or it isn't. But if I were to, I don't know, assume, I feel like, I just don't know how long he worked on this project. Because it's like, we got CLB in September. So it's like, after CLB came out, did you just
get right back in the studio? Talk about it.
I don't. If I was an artist, I don't know. I could be different. I'm not an artist. I don't really know. But if I was an artist, I'd probably, after I finished dropping an album, I would probably take a break for maybe like 3 months, maybe, because the touring comes, all that other stuff. But I wouldn't just want to hop right. Like maybe I would. Maybe I just have content that I have written up, and I just don't know the time span to where he decided, let me make this album. This could have been in the vault for 3 years, maybe. Who knows? And
again, segueing, that's another thing I'll give Drake, and it's not even really connected to the album, but I have to commend him for the amount of music that he puts out.
Yeah, he puts out a lot of music.
And for him being as big as he is and still being really active making music, I do appreciate that. I really do appreciate that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so let me hear. I know I was talking a lot. I had a lot to say.
Honestly, I was honestly waiting to hear what you had to say for, I think, just over a week now. So I'm glad I got to hear it. For me, like, I don't know, it's different. This is definitely an album that you need to sit with. It's not something that you could just take. You know, it's not an album that you can just like get right into. I don't think for most people, most Drake fans, it's not something that they would put on right away and be like, I'm feeling this off rip. I feel like the people who are feeling it off rip are people who are into this type of music, which I can say. And that's the thing. It's like,
no, but the thing is, like, I don't think the people actually into dance music
are about this.
Are not about this. Because Drake is that artist that, like, that guy that has dance music all over his iPod probably has headlines on his iPod. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not dissing Drake. But,
no, I'm not. But I'm saying for the OGs. You
know what I mean? Like Drake's. But I'm not. Even if you do a newer song, like Drake is that artist where it's just like, yeah, the man that's into country music might have a couple of Drake songs on his 100%, iPod.
100%.
You know what I mean? Like, if there's any rap, it's gonna be maybe a 1-2 Drake song.
I'm talking full discography. I'm talking full discography. OG Drake fans, like they've been with him since day one. Going to this right away is tough. It was tough for me personally.
Yeah.
And I must say, after maybe 3 listens, I was like, this is not that bad. Because I remember I messaged you after, and like maybe a couple days later, I was like, this is not as bad as I thought it was. And you were like, nah, this is ass. And I was
Carly said the same thing.
Like you said, it was ass, or it's not that bad. No, it's not that bad.
Off rip, he was like, I can't believe I stayed up for this. Because he stayed up at midnight.
Yeah, and then we got a snap of him vibing into it in the car like 3 days later.
But even like a day before that, he was like, honestly, he's like, I've listened to it again. He's like, it's not that bad.
It's not.
Like he said whatever he said, right? And yeah, like
it's definitely an album that you have to listen to more than once to get into it, because there's definitely, it's at the end of the day, we're talking about Drake. He's gonna make a song on there that's gonna stick out. You know what I mean? He's not gonna have an album that's poor from front to back and not have a song that stands out, or not have a song that people are gravitating to.
Yeah,
when he drops the album, there's always gonna be that one song that people are gonna fuck with off the album. He's got at least 2 of those on here.
Yeah, and no, you're right. Like, and the point you were saying before, like, you're right, where the OG Drake fans would be thrown off, but I was also getting to like the people that really, like the mans that are going to raves and shit, like the true dance mans. I'm telling you, are looking at this album like, this is not good.
You know what? I don't really have any I don't really talk to anyone that really talks.
I don't.
So that's what I'm saying. I'm waiting. I hope that someone that does like.
I just feel like people like, and I've seen comments, because I do read comments like on videos and stuff.
I haven't seen anybody from people who like this kind of music though.
I saw a couple comments being like, as someone who loves dance music, this is less than mediocre dance music. You know what I mean? And like, that's where it's just like, and like, I hear that, and again, like, I guess this is another criticism that I have of Drake is that, and like, I feel like a lot of people make excuses for him because he likes to try different
things,
different avenues.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
but that's the thing. It's like with people in the comments, it's like, we don't know who these people are. This guy could have like one Drake song.
No,
you know what I mean? Like, we don't. That's the thing with comments. It's like, right. It's hard because it's like, we don't know.
But again, he knows dance music, and he might have heard this because it was because it was under the dance category.
Maybe,
right?
Maybe there's always that what if.
It's labeled as dance. So like,
which is crazy, because I didn't even notice that off the first listen.
And I didn't either. And of course, somehow Curtis booked it.
Yeah, that's crazy. Curtis
booked it from jump, and he like, that's so funny that he mentioned that, because I didn't realize that at all.
And now you see the report that it's like the first, like, I can't remember, there was some report about it being like, I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was like the first dance. Drake's like the first guy to do like a dance album with something. I can't remember exactly what it was, but he was the first to do something with dance.
Yeah.
And
so,
you know what's crazy? You know what? Going back to the first day of it actually dropping. It was very, as a Drake fan, it was very hard for me. You know how many messages, like, I felt like a celebrity that day. I had my phone blowing up telling me how shit this album was. It was crazy. And from people who I don't even really talk to like that. That much. It was crazy.
And you telling me that,
it was a rough day.
It was a rough day. It made me die, but it also made me just be like, this smart motherfucker. This is what he was trying to get, this exact reaction of people popping up and texting their mans. Yo, what the fuck is this? He was looking for that. And again, like, I didn't even finish that other criticism that I had, but another one is just like, I feel like he's so calculated.
He is.
With his moves, and Joe Budden says it all the time, like, it's like his team are a bunch of scientists, the way that they just move and craft the narrative. And it's just like, he's so calculated that sometimes I feel like the math of the equation overpowers the actual art.
Fair enough.
That he creates.
That's a good take. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
So that's
just thinking so deep into it will make people focus like maybe less on the album and more on just like conversation.
But it's also just like, it's like, okay, like, if I move this way, it makes more sense, and it'll be more beneficial in the long run and pockets wise, than as opposed to me making this album this way or the way that I want it. Mm-hmm. And to me, like, I always feel like and that's a good question for Drake. It's like, I wonder what albums did he actually want to make his way. Or any artist for that matter, you know what I mean? And like, I do feel like a lot of these are his way, but I also do feel like a lot of them
it's just him focused on being so calculated that he's not like, let
yes,
me
that
just
it's
do
like
what
that.
I want.
It's like I can't help but like I can't help but think that he is so calculated that it certain times when he's like making his next moves, he doesn't even realize he's calculating. It's just you know what I mean? Because he's that calculated with it.
Yeah.
And that's where sometimes like I feel like the art suffers certain times and the actual music suffers certain times.
I agree. And like I was saying, it was a rough Friday for me, man. Like honestly, like I think I woke up to I was up late because I remember I played it. I played it like right at 12 when it dropped.
Yeah.
Sat through it, and then did whatever I got to do. Now it's time to go to bed, and now I'm going through my phone and I'm seeing what people are saying, taking it in. This shit is trash. This shit is mid. Yo, when you type into when you go on Twitter, you can start typing something and it gives you like the suggestions. So I'm seeing Drake mid, Drake album sucked. Like I'm seeing all that. Like honestly, Nevermind sucked. Like, and then I see my own boss post like doesn't really post stuff on music like that. Post like take the text with that. Yeah. I had that. I woke up to a bunch of people that I haven't spoken to in a while. We're just like, yo, this album's trash, blah, blah, blah. What's going on with your boy? And then I have you obviously talking bad shit. I go into the group chat. I had a whole bunch of other guys talking shit. I had the whole group chat going in. Chris was going in.
Corey was going in. Honestly, I'm not going to lie. I want to talk to Corey again to see if
he's probably not for him. I would be surprised.
So obviously he's like our other music.
But maybe I don't know.
Other music kind of head. So
maybe because he has Haley around and she's probably playing that. So maybe he might gravitate more to it. So maybe. But it was a rough day. And then but in the hindsight of that, I still saw some people being like, I like this album.
Yeah. No, for sure.
So that was like, okay, maybe I'll grow to it eventually. By day 3, I was like, okay, this is not that bad. Now I'm at a point where it's like I wanna go out more just to hear this while I'm doing my thing, and I haven't yet. So that's a point where I'm like, I want to take the next level with this album and try and experience it on the road. And hopefully when we go out this Friday, we can actually get some tracks maybe from there, which we will probably 9 times out of 10. But I'm willing to. I really want to see how it is outside. Yeah. And I think that's where it's going to go back to having the really how impactful this album is. Because this album, to me, it has potential to be super impactful in his career.
Yes.
This could be an album where we go back and we talk about Drake being I don't want to say Mount Rushmore because this isn't rap. You know what I'm saying? But when we talk about Drake as an overall artist, I think this album has a lot of potential to really be an album that gives him that push. You know what I mean?
See, but it's funny that you said that because this actually perfectly segues to what I wanted to get into, which is my I know again, audience. Sorry, like again, I know it seems like I'm hating, and that's why I needed to state.
From me, honestly, he's not. Trust me, he's not a Drake fan. He's just very critical, and I need that criticism in my life because it brings me back to reality on this guy sometimes. But he is like I said, he is my favorite artist, so I can't be a little bit biased.
So what you were saying just now about like you were literally in the middle of being like, this might potentially make him Mount Rushmore, but then you were like, wait, this isn't rap.
Mm.
So that segues me to my other criticism, which is basically when I was saying before about people commending him for doing other avenues. Mm-hmm. I could get that if it inevitably or eventually turned into great music in that genre.
Okay.
To me, Drake has yet to make elite music outside of rap and form. Minimal R&B. No, I'm not even talking about. I'm talking about genre. When I go to his Jafakin music, mm-hmm. It's mid, right? Because think about it. That's supposed to be his dancehall technically, his reggae. Yeah. If you think about it, right?
Well, here's the thing with him in the Jafakin.
No,
I agree. I'm just saying with that aspect, mm-hmm. It's like he's not an island man. So that's the thing. It's like I know you're from Toronto, and I know a bunch of your niggas around you and your crew are island niggas, but like at the same time, I think 9 times out of 10 it won't really hit unless that person is. And but that's the thing. I understand it though.
And you're right, but to me, like that still seems like it's still like a making an excuse for him in a sense, and it's still like a.
I'm not making an excuse.
No, but just hear me out. So it's like because he's not an island man, the Jafaican music won't be elite. Then why keep making it? Because he's made it on multiple projects.
Because there's people who do
who will dig it because it is base level reggae that people that don't want to fuck a gal from you. See, that's a study business. Me tell her, say fuck her. Yeah, all that stuff. Yeah, it might be a little too much for other people. So they like their, I think I ride for you. I think I die for you. You know what I mean?
Or
like
one dance, yeah.
Or or they'll rock with that. And I get that. But as someone that loves reggae music, absolutely loves reggae music, like I might even love it more than hip hop.
I would never debate that.
You know what I mean? Like I listen to more hip hop just because like on an everyday basis I can listen to more hip hop. But like there's reggae songs that touch my soul that like I don't think any hip hop song can. Okay. You know what I mean? So I love reggae music. So when I hear his reggae music, I'm like, this is mid.
And that's the thing. I do. You know, I love reggae music in general.
Yeah, exactly.
Too, but I wouldn't say I love it more than hip hop. I like hip hop is like
no. And again, like that's not even the.
And that's the thing. And that, it's not. But that's what I'm saying. Like it's like.
But I'm saying even like going to the dance music or like his R&B. Like to me, like his R&B is mid R&B. Like. There's certain songs that I like that when he gets his shit off, like Practice and.
Well, look at it like this. There's none of his R&B song. I will, not off the top of my head, I can't figure it out. But does Drake have an R&B song that's like Diamond? I don't think so. And that's the thing. If the song is Diamond, it's probably that poppy shit or it's him rapping.
Yeah, but I don't even want to talk. But I'm just talking about like.
But that's not. It goes back to your point saying like it's mid. That's what I'm saying. He doesn't have any elite. But here's the thing.
And I'm not even talking about sales wise, but I'm more talking just like. Even Drake's even like if you were to go to like my favorite Drake R&B-ish song and compare it to like, again, I don't want to say R. Kelly, but like one of my favorite or one of my favorite Chris Brown R&B songs, right? I'm like, this is not even close. Like Drake's R&B, like my favorite Drake R&B song isn't even close to like my favorite Chris Brown R&B song. And I know Chris Brown is is an R&B guy, but that's where I was just like, I commend him for trying these different things, but I don't want people to come to me and be like, because he's doing these things, it makes him elite or it makes the particular genre that he's doing elite. And I said that before, right? Because the dance music, we're 90s babies. Techno was big in the 90s. I lie?
Yeah.
Like, I remember my mom had a lot of techno tapes for workouts and all that. You know, like Tybo and all that stuff was coming out. Techno was
that goes back to you saying like to me saying like the OG Drake fans like like I said, we'll take a bite out of this and be like, fuck, this is ass right away. But understanding and that's the thing, and this going back to this, people are calling this like a house album. We know what like the actual real house music sound is, especially, you know, our moms. And that's the thing. It's like, so as we're kids growing up, we know that music they play. Like, we know the real house music sound.
I remember my mom playing house music in the house.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like she was playing reggae, obviously, and soca and ting calypso. But I remember hearing techno songs.
And that's the thing. It's like with this, for us, because we know that, it's not convincing us like that's that. Or it's trying to be.
And that's why when I played the mix that the DJ played over the Calling My Name.
That's the wave you should have went on it more than the house.
That sounds more like a dance sound, a dance album. And that's where I was just like, I can't, like when the very first time I heard, like I listened to that TikTok, I was just like, I commented, I was like, yo, this is fucking flames. And I was like, this is the way Drake should have went. Like I was like, if you're gonna go do a house album or a dance album, do a dance album, like a full on with the laser sounds and all that shit.
Yeah,
like,
I agree.
Real talk.
I agree. I agree.
With your voice literally sounding like all that techno shit that they involve in that genre. Do that shit with you, and you could have been spitting your same shit, and it would have sounded way better. And the instrumentals don't even sound bad. It just needed to be kind of like
a little the tweaks, like a little
tweaked
not
and turned up like a tad bit. And again, going back to the calculated thing, he did it bass level so that these DJs could take it and flip it in the clubs and go nuts.
So they're
with
pretty
it.
much doing his work for him. It's smart, man. It's crazy. It's crazy.
And that's where
and he's making money off that.
And that's where like I can't help but be like, is the calculation outweighing the art?
No, I agree.
And like that's where it's just like I'm like tug of war where it's just like what's the main goal and what's like your main like objective? And going back to your Mount Rushmore thing where it's just like the fact that we got a full dance album before a full hip hop album is crazy to me, or even a full R&B one is crazy to me.
And that's what I'm saying, because it's like I go back to oh my goodness, if you're reading this, it's too late. That's not a full rap album. It's not. But it definitely is more rap based.
Yes.
There are some singing songs there. There are some songs where he's not really rapping, but he's not really singing either.
Yes.
I mean, I want full like 6 p.m. in New York.
Yes.
Front to back. If you give me that.
Champagne poetry to start.
Leather.
Tuscan leather to end. Give me fucking like Underground Kings in the middle. Lord Knows in the middle. All like give me and that's where it's just like it bothers me because again, you were talking about Mount Rushmore, but when you thought about him on Mount Rushmore, you thought about his rapping side. My Samsung TV, it has like a TV app, so it has random channels. Obviously, there's no cable box on it.
Yeah.
But it'll have like the Baywatch channel where literally it's just Baywatch.
I have that too.
Right? I think most smart TVs have that app. Mm-hmm. There's a Degrassi channel.
Oh, really? Do you see him on there?
So he's
like they're playing like the old one?
Old Degrassi with Drake.
That's crazy.
And so he pops up one, 2 times in the scenes, whatever, right? Mm. And there's an episode where like, so I remember I closed Netflix or something and it closed and it showed him. Mm. So like I watched a little bit.
Like you're probably like, look at this bum.
I'm like, look at this fucking guy, man. So they were like the cheerleaders were looking for like men for like the talent show. Mm-hmm. And the man comes in and he's he's rapping in a wheelchair. Mm-hmm. Yo, whatever. Mm. and even though in the moment I was laughing at him, mm-hmm. I was still just like, it's funny that even in this show, what is he doing?
Rapping.
He's rapping.
And it's so funny because you're saying they were looking for talent for a Valentine's Day show?
Yeah, I think so.
If it was a Valentine's Day show, wouldn't you really want to sing for the ladies instead of rapping? But you can rap too. But it's funny because he's a rapper first.
That's what. You agree with me on that?
He's a rapper first.
Easily. That's what I'm saying. Don't let any of these people like get it twisted. That's why don't come at me like I'm a hater. I know this guy. You know what I mean? Don't like. And this guy, as a more Drake fan, will tell y'all that I know this guy. Like I do break like, and again, like I break this guy down because he frustrates me because like I know as in the rapping realm at least.
Yeah.
In the rapping bubble, he is elite. I might even say can be. He is elite because I hear songs till this day that when he drops a full rap song, I'm like, yo, this nigga's spitting. Goddamn.
Yeah.
And going back
and that's the thing, like even before CLB, he had that run where he had a lot of features, and I sent you some songs and you're like, yo, like where's this guy? Even the song with him and Lil Wayne and Seeing Green. Do you remember that song? His first, I'm like, yo, where's that? Give me 14 songs of that.
And as the guy that is the rapper first, I really feel like the rapping is scarce and it comes out like
I think
like even CLB, there was Champagne Poetry. What was the one in the middle? Something whatever in Toronto or like what's the middle of CLB?
I think it was 7 a.m. in Bridle Path.
Yeah.
Or so whatever, yeah.
Yeah. So like that's where it's just like it's always sprinkles of like that elite rapping. But it seems like it's just getting more scarce and more scarce. And I'm just like...
I think it's just based off Drake's character. It's more him to give, like love shit. And that's the thing. It's like... But when he's rapping, he raps about some love shit. Like, you know what I mean? He raps about, like, stuff in relationships and stuff, the toxic stuff that he had.
Not really. His rapping stuff is more his braggadocious shit. True. Your mom talked to me at daycare. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like I dropped my kids off and your mom's asking me, do you know Beyonce? Like, you know what I mean? Like but that's where it's just like, and it's fine. Cause like, I love that shit. Like I love when niggas get off their braggadocious shit. You know what I mean? Like,
so do
I love that. So it's just like, I don't mind that, but it's just like, it feels like, and especially as we're going away. It's like we're getting scarce and scarce, and it's just like we get this album and then we get Jimmy Crooks at the end.
Do you like Jimmy Cooks? It's actually not bad. It's been growing on me as I hear it.
Just no. I want to say no just because it, and this is where I texted you jokingly being like, why is Jimmy Cooks even on the album?
I think he did that.
Don't worry, we'll talk about it later. But that's what I was joking because I wanted to talk about it now.
No,
like,
you can't.
I'm saying like when I text messaged you earlier
yeah.
to make the joke, but it was just like, I didn't get it. Why was it there with the other songs? It does not flow at all.
It doesn't, and I just think it was something to be like, yo, you listen to like... It's more of like it's more like a...
There should be a bonus in that.
That's what it should...
Apple Music.
That should be like a bonus in brackets. And that's the thing. I think it's just more so like, I just gave you a full dance album. Let me just give you here's a bonus song for me spinning.
Or say bonus. Because right now, it's in the context of the album. That's the album. Like, it's not a bonus song. Like, the album
Even if it was a bonus, would it still not count as a context in the album? It's different when you have bonus.
Yes, you're right. Because, like, when I listen to, I think it's Good Kid, Mad City.
Yeah.
And, like, what is, like, the recipes on the bonus?
That's a deluxe edition.
So that's where it's just, like, I hear you where it's just, like, it was additions. And I do kind of count it. But that's where it's just like, if it said bonus beside it, I would have been like, you know what?
It doesn't fit.
It doesn't fit, but it's a bonus. He kind of like...
Do it in.
It really just does not fit. Like, at all. And that's where it's just like, the song is solid, but I was just like, I don't get it in the context of the rest of the album.
Yeah, I hear... Like, honestly, I just think like he made the album, was like, let me just throw that in there at the end. Because you probably listen to Dance... this whole album, and this is for the people who aren't into dance, so maybe if they can just go back to this song, because it's like, for example, if someone doesn't like this, there's a lot of people who are like, yo, I don't like, at first, I don't know how they feel now, there's a lot of people who are like, I don't like the album, but Jimmy Cook slaps. So if it's like, I don't like this album, but Jimmy Cook slaps, so I'll go back to listen to this one Drake song that will obviously give him streams. It obviously today it debuted at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100, which is crazy. So now that makes Drake the most artists with number 1s. On the hot, which is good. That's what I'm saying. It's like, but I think honestly, before we move on, I want to get into what songs overall do you like from the album.
Okay, so before we get into that, I just wanted to say, yeah, okay, whatever. We'll just get into.
No, you were trying to. Was there something about Jimmy Cooks? Like how people like don't want to like how people don't like the album, so they'll go back to Jimmy Cooks. Just to listen to nothing like that.
Yeah, I get that. Like I do get that. And oh sorry, the point what I wanted to say is like now that he did this, maybe like he'll somehow come out with a straight R&B album. Maybe with a straight hip hop album.
Hopefully it's a start to something new.
Because there's at the end of the day, you could try all this stuff, but until you come out with that full rap album.
I'm not trying to hear it.
No, not that I'm not trying to hear, but no. It's not that, but until you come up with a full rap album, I really think like the people, like you said, the OG fans that have been there from when he was only rapping and when he made his name just rapping. I don't think those people that have been with you from the beginning are going to give you your full dues until you come and show us that you can do a full rap album.
No, I agree fully. And I think it needs to happen. So, and that's the thing, like you said, this guy's very calculated. We don't even know. Like, imagine if he gave us a full rap album in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If he did that, or like maybe like a month from, you know what I mean? Like, hopefully this is the start to something new of you actually giving us, you know, full focused content. Because he even stated from CLB that he wanted to he wanted to make like a shorter album, but he made it 21 songs or 20 songs.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So what songs do you like? Do we have time?
Yeah. We have a few more minutes before this thing cuts off. So
what songs?
Calling My Name.
Okay.
And again, like the flip that the DJ did had a big
impact on why you like it.
On me liking it, not just because of that, but when I actually go listen to it by itself, I do like it. I like the first half more than your pussy.
Yeah. Same.
It's calling my. I like the first half way better on that song. I think Flights Booked is not bad, but I think that might be one where I think I really like the instrumental more than the actual like whole song.
Yeah.
And I actually like Override. I think it's
Overdrive. Yeah, that song's fire.
That song is actually tough. That song's actually tough. I like that song. Those were probably like my top 3. What are your favorites? And then I want to say one point, and I don't know if there's anything else that you want to kind of state.
No, so It's weird. So at first, I liked Techno Green and Liability. That was the only two that stood out to me at first.
I don't like Liability at all.
Falling Back, I like a lot more now. That sounds more of like the going, like that sounds like a song that I would hear if I'm out.
I agree with you. The instrumental is actually nice and it bumps and it does sound like a going song.
That instrumental I love. I don't just like him screaming falling back.
So this is what so you know the guy on Dead End Hip Hop, the guy in the end, the dreads. He made a good point where it was just like, it sounds like Drake's losing his voice.
I don't want to go like,
and I'm not trying to diss.
No, I know you're not because I heard it too. He's
never had the best vocals, but they're getting worse.
I don't. Yeah,
they're getting. No, I
thought
worse.
about that. I thought about
and
that.
I don't know if it's maybe just this album in the pocket that he was trying to find, but they sounded really bad on this album. His vocals, when he really tried to get into the singing bag, like a deep, they sounded bad.
No, they did. They did. No, they did. And that's the thing. It's like when it's so funny. I didn't mention it until I seen the review, and that's when you sent it to me. I was like, yeah, I already heard it. And I'm really processing it because a lot of the shit that they were saying on there was true.
And that's why, like, again, I was listening to it like a good amount of songs before you came. The instrumentals are sticking out, and they're actually pretty good.
And that's the thing. I like for Falling Back. I just like the instrumental. I don't like him.
The instrumental is really good on that song. It's just his vocals really come in with him screaming like,
yeah.
And I'm just like, this.
And it's long. It's repetitive. It's the same thing over and over.
Like, I'm like, this is
and it's crazy because I'm like, I really like the instrumental on this song. So for overall, I really like Overdrive. I really like Massive, Text Go Green, Falling Back, and Downhill. And Jimmy Cooks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I
know everyone's loving Sticky, but it doesn't hit for me like that. But I get it.
I get it too. But even Joe Budden was saying he wasn't the biggest fan of that song, and like that song doesn't hit for me.
Like Overdrive the beat on that song is crazy, and his melody doesn't sound the worst on that.
It actually sounds good on it. It does sound good on it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
That's a song where he actually sounds good on.
That might be one of.
But Falling Back, the vocals on that are terrible, man. Terrible.
Do you have any other points?
No, I don't. I just really hope that we actually get a Drake project where, not even that's just more so just rapping. I hope we get that, but I just hope we get a solid Drake album where it's like, we go back to it and we're like, yo, this really, 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 like, you know, he does still, like, not does still got it, but he really gave us, like, he's really consistent with it. Like, he really has it like that. Control over everything. Like, if he gives us another, like, Nothing Was the Same.
Yeah.
Give me that. Give me another one of those.
Yeah, no, hopefully like he'll give us, you know what I mean, something else like a Nothing Was the Same. Or I'm hoping, like you said,
he gives us that album where it's like, yo, like, I ain't going nowhere. Like,
yeah, like, and like just more like if you're reading this, it's too late. Like, or what again? If you're reading this, you're too late.
If you're reading this, it's too late.
It's too late. And again, like that's probably up there for me and I've said this many times. Like that's up there for me in the Drake discographies for sure. There's a lot of songs on there that I'm about. And again, like, but like you said, also there's song. It isn't like a full rap album because there are songs on there that are more singy and more just different.
And that's the thing. I don't see me going back to listen to this album as a whole, and I know you don't either. But I could see me going back and picking songs that I like from it to listen to. I'm not going to the top and letting it ride out.
No, I'm not.
I think this is a song where I go back and pick certain songs.
I'm not either. This is, and again, like and that's what I'm saying. Again, I don't want to catch the hate from people, but it's like, as much as I'm mad critical of Drake, I still have his albums on my phone. This might be one of the few, honestly, his first album that I'm not putting on the phone.
You're not keeping it?
I don't think I'm gonna keep it. And if I do, like if I want to listen to certain songs, like I would just search it up on Apple Music. Go back. You know what I mean?
No, I hear you because it just takes up space.
It just takes up space, and it's just like, yeah, like I don't want it being on my phone. And then because I'm a man to do, because you know me, I'm a man to listen to my songs in shuffle a lot, especially.
So you want to hear that,
especially when I'm working out. So I don't need those songs coming in the mix.
No, I hear you.
I know I'm not gonna be listening to them. So you're right. Like I would pick out the certain Overdrive, Call My Name, Flights Booked, like the couple that I like, and that would be it.
Okay.
So that's probably it. I guess the last thing about this that I want to ask you was, do you think that he dropped it so quickly and out of the blue because Beyonce dropped that she's dropping an album?
Like, I don't think so. Like, here's the thing. It's like he said, he's like, when the album first dropped and everyone was dissing, it's like, you guys don't get it. You'll understand it soon, though. Like, you know what I mean? So maybe that's referencing to something like this. Like, maybe that's the thing. The only time will tell, right? Until we get that album, we won't truly know. But I don't think so. It all depends if Beyonce's album is all that, like what Drake's doing, but obviously probably it's going to be better. Then maybe he was onto something. Maybe it was something, and I feel like he did know down the line that Beyonce was dropping, because a lot of artists know within each other's camps and all that stuff. People know agents; they're gonna know when someone else is dropping soon,
and especially her.
Exactly. So especially Drake doing the surprise album pushed back a lot of albums that were supposed, not a lot, but there's a few albums that were supposed to come out that got pushed back. Like the Games album that was supposed to come out that
I was actually
day.
gonna ask you about that, because like I heard, and again we're gonna talk about Logic's album later, but the Game song on.
You heard it? Violence?
I did.
You like it?
Yo, the Game is fucking nice. You know I'm a The Game fan.
Yeah, yeah. So am I. I like him.
Just the way he came on that song, like on that track was nice. Like I'm just like, yo.
No, honestly, him and Hit Boy are gonna do some magic still. And I think,
you told me that,
yeah, I think it's executive produced by Hit Boy, so they're gonna do some damage.
That's gonna be nice still.
And I think it's supposed to be 30 tracks as well, which I'll take from Game.
That's a lot still, but fuck, that's a lot.
It's a lot. But the last one I think was like 25 songs. Born to Rap was long. It had a lot of songs on there. Yeah. But 30 is
30 is a lot still.
And it all depends on the time. Like if it's 30 songs within an hour, like I can handle that.
Yeah.
What do you think? Do you think he did it because he knew Beyonce was dropping? Now that I mentioned everything, I feel like
I do.
Yeah.
Because Drake's music fan base is monstrous. Mm-hmm. If there's one person that's music's fan base is probably way bigger, or probably just like.
No, the Beehive will come out. The Beehive's gonna come out.
Like the Beehive just don't play, and like
they don't.
You know what I mean? I'm a member of the Beehive. Like
I'm interested to see how much numbers this album does, like Beyonce's album does, because Drake's did I think 242, 232 or 242.
And again, like I'm more in the I'm more in the bleachers of the Beehive section. I'm not like, you know what I mean, champion at the front row. Mm-hmm. But I am a Beyonce fan. But I do think that I do think that he did this, or not the overall album, but I do think that maybe he dropped it when he did because she announced it. I feel like if anything, I feel like maybe the album was in the works, but if anything, she announcing it changed his release date.
Mm-hmm. Did 204,000. That's not bad for a surprise album.
Because right now, like from when he dropped it and when she dropped a release date of her album, it's gonna be like a good month.
So he'll get all his numbers out the way.
Yeah, he'll get all his local eat. Yeah, and then you know what I mean. And I feel like he did that purposely, because like I was telling Shanaz, like I feel like he was planning to probably drop more in July, because July is the heart of the summer. Mm-hmm. Everybody knows July is like the true heart of the summer.
At the same time, you kind of wanted to have it ready for them times too. I feel like
and I'm not saying. No, you're right, but I think like maybe like a first week, second week of July, it might have been like as opposed to like.
I can see that. I thought you were talking about like mid-July, and then having the week of people saying it's ass, and then has another 2 weeks for people to actually get into it. Then summer's done. You know what I mean? Like maybe.
And Caravana weekend, people are vibing to it.
Not to this.
No, for sure, but like just being out and just around that time. Like
just like maybe on the way there, like, you know, while they're in the city.
It just being like a amp up partying vibe album for people in the heart of the summer.
Yep, 100%.
So I definitely do think that he, like, to a degree, did drop it when he did, because Beyonce dropped her release date. Segueing to Beyonce, what do you think that we're getting from the Beyonce album, since it was saying that it's an Act 1?
Yeah, so which is interesting, because so that means are we getting, how many acts are we getting? How many pieces of work are we getting?
Which is alone, is it like a 3, 4, like?
And you know what? If it is, I'll take it from Beyonce, and I'm sure a lot of pause. Is that a pause? Yeah, that's a pause. Her last, I'm just going to confirm, I believe her last album, the last album we got from Beyonce was Lemonade. That was 2016. So it's been a long time.
No, yes, but even Maul brought it up. Her last project was The Lion King.
Are we counting that though?
I am. Me. Maybe not in her person, but she.
So when you look at,
and I know there's certain songs. Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah.
And I know there's certain songs that she may not be on, but she kind of executive produced the entire thing, and she's on the majority of songs. And there's a lot of good music on that album.
There is. But here's the thing: it's like, are you counting? So, for example, like, are you counting Black Panther
in Kendrick's? You're right.
Because it's still, like I said, it's based from motion picture based.
You're right. So you know what? I won't.
It's still a piece of. It's still a piece of.
And that's what I meant by her last when she dropped her last piece of work.
But that's project. Okay, then if in that case, it's fair.
But you're right. I guess I wouldn't count it in.
And we got that album that had, I think, like 40 or 50 songs where it was just a whole bunch of live performances. I can't remember what it's called. I think it's called Homecoming. But she dropped that, I think, in 2018, or 2018 or 19.
Yeah.
And but her last actual project where it's just full on Beyonce, I'm trying to get the hits out there, I'm trying to get the songs out there, was Lemonade in 2016.
Lemonade, which was fire,
which
and
is obviously good. Yeah, amazing, and obviously I think that
set the females out there in a frenzy.
I think that could be one of the most like influential albums to females to try to have that boss bitch vibe. You know what I mean? And I think it begins there. That's one of really the first albums for that really started it.
No, but it's funny though, because it's like Joe Budden says, Beyonce be tricking y'all.
In regards of how, like,
Beyonce be tricking y'all, you know what I mean? Y'all be getting, and I don't want to people may kill me for this, but it's just like he's like she be tricking y'all, and he was like Single Ladies was one of the biggest scams of all time.
Yeah, I remember.
He was like Beyonce. He was like Beyonce got you guys out here screaming Single Ladies. You know what I mean? If you like it, put a ring on it. Mm-hmm. As she's a happily married woman at home with her millions and billions. You know what I mean? So it's just like, it's funny.
It's weird. It's weird. Yeah, for sure.
Like, obviously from her end, she's just making the music, but it's so funny the influence that she has. You know what I mean? And you're right, because that Lemonade album was major with regards to like how
having that turnover into
and just how like it was affecting their attitude, and just not even just attitude, but just how they felt about themselves, which was a good thing. Obviously they felt confident. It made them feel confident, like you said, that boss bitch attitude. You know what I mean? Which was, again, so
yeah, I'm tired of that though.
Like you're saying.
I'm tired of that shit. 6 years, man. I'm good.
Don't kill me. Don't kill me.
But yeah,
so I guess sorry to intro, but I guess to end it is just like it's more just like, what do you, if you obviously there's going to be multiple acts.
Yeah, I'm hoping maybe 3. I think make it a trilogy.
I feel like
that's
3.
probably what it would be.
I heard something that it might be 4 just because like 4 is supposed to be like her favorite number or some shit.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? That's, you know, these beehives be digging.
Be digging. So like I could definitely see that, and like I was also hearing that like I heard each act might be a different genre.
Okay, so this genre is probably gonna. But that's the thing. It's like I don't think this album is gonna be all dance.
All dance.
But if it is, I'll take it. And that's the thing. It's like with Beyonce and the type of influence she has and what she can put. We know this album's not gonna be shit.
No.
You know what I mean? We know that. So I think we all know as Beyonce fans and people that have obviously watched Beyonce, you know, get into the artist that she is now. We know that she puts out great albums. So we know that we're gonna get that with her. Now, what's the influence? What kind of album are we getting? Are we getting an influential album? Are we getting I'm pissed off at Jay-Z and all the girls should be single kind of, you know what I mean? I don't think so, because I think they're good in their marriage right now.
They're good and they're happy. Like I think if anything it'd be more like again, if there's different acts, like who knows?
Because like that's the thing. It's like how much in, I know that's her bag. Like I'm so in love and blah blah blah. Like, but like I said, they already did the collab album. They did that. So, you know what I mean? I'm not really kind of expecting that vibe, and that was more of a, like, we obviously, that album, The Carters, was like, okay, we found ourselves as a couple, we were healing, blah, 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 we're powerful, we realize what we are, and...
Well, the thing is, if each act is, say, like, actually goes with a different genre, I was hearing, like, literally, like Rory and Mal, where they were saying that, like, they heard that one might be a country.
Oh, no way.
Might be a country,
but it makes sense though, because she Texas, and she does have some. There's some songs where she does have that. There, even on Lemonade, there's that one song. Oh my god!
I feel like if I was a girl, has that if I was a.
I think it's.
Is that Beyonce or am I tripping?
That's Beyonce. I think it's Sandcastles or no Daddy Lessons.
Daddy Lessons.
Yes. Yeah. That's the song where it's kind of the. So, I mean,
she could pull it off. She could pull it off, and that's where I heard that, and I was just like.
I mean, I guess
I would get it. because the Texas roots, and you're right. There are songs throughout
Her
discography where she gets into that bag.
Mm.
But again, maybe one might be like a full, and again, if that's the case, like I want like a full like R&B album, like a full like Halo singing, like that kind of like back to that kind of elite level singing. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But yeah, no, that's really what.
Well, yeah, we're gonna get it soon, so we're pretty much in July of this week. So we get in what, like 3 or 4 weeks. So hopefully by the time
it's the end of July, so it's like
July 29th or something like that.
So it's the.
That's what I'm saying. So we got a month, and by the time we hear that, by the time we do the next pod, it'll probably be around them times anyway. So perfect timing anyway for us at least.
Yeah.
And we'll have more albums to talk about.
Yeah.
So we'll be good.
All right, so next we're gonna get into the Rolling Stones top 200 list. I haven't really went too deep into the list.
I got it here. So if
you sent me the list and you were like, it's bullshit. I know a lot of other
it's bullshit.
Music hip hop heads have been saying it's a bunch of bullshit. So we're just gonna kind of go over briefly, just like the top 50 really quickly, and let me know which ones you think are kind of just bullshit because you have it on the screen there.
Okay, so I'm gonna say, so it really gets bullshit through the top 10. Well, I want to start with Cardi B's Invasion of Privacy at number 16. That's crazy to me.
That's crazy.
That's
like,
crazy.
Like in the last 50,
They had that over Yeezus.
Yeah, I don't know. That's crazy. Like,
yeah. Like I don't even know where to begin. Like, here's the thing.
Illmatic is at 24.
Illmatic is at 24. Let me tell you guys all something right now. In regards of rap, Invasion of Privacy is not better than Illmatic. Illmatic should be at least number 3. Easily.
Take that in. Take that list in. Take that in. That Invasion of Privacy is above Illmatic.
That's the origin of hip hop right there. Like that's literally one of the best. Arguably the best hip hop album.
They teach Illmatic in fucking like college classes and shit.
Like I didn't even know that.
Yeah, well, there's like certain courses that take,
and it's always like, referenced in regards of hip hop. Like it's just always one of those albums that if when people talk about hip hop, they always reference a lot of shit to Illmatic. This is like, easily like people really don't understand. Like this album is easily a top 3 rap album of all time, easily.
Like,
and if you're a real hip hop fan, you know that.
Honestly, name off the top 20.
Okay, so going through 20, Future, Dirty Sprite 2. That should not be number 20. That's good. No, it's good. No, there's the thing. It's a good trap album, but number 20, you have that better than you have DMX. It's Dark and Hell's High, his debut album at number 22. You think that is not better than DS2? But you know what's so fucked up? There's a lot of kids that are like 18, 19 that will tell you that yes, it is because that's what they grew up on, and that album to them is probably.
And you're right, but. Those shouldn't be the people making this list.
And that's the thing, we don't know who made this list.
And that's where it's just like, to me, I feel like the people making this list, you guys are so disconnected and so like just not in tune or just like, like, it's just like, who's in that room to come up with this list?
I really want to know because it's crazy. But here's the thing, they got, so like even that, so yeah, we're going to start from 20. You want to start from 20?
Yeah.
Okay, so Future Dirty Sprite 2. Okay. 19 is Lil Kim's Hardcore. I don't think that's number, like, I've heard it front to back a couple times. It's her debut album. It's solid because you have a lot of. That's at the time where this is right before Biggie passed. He was very. A lot of people don't really know that Big was low key like writing for Lil Kim. So a lot of her bars and a lot of the way she gets off stuff, you'll hear it's Biggie, right? Yeah. So that it is good, but it's not number 19. This should be like I don't know in the 100 somewhere. In my opinion, it is fire though. It's a good album. It's Number 18 is Mad Villain, Mad Villainy. This album is fucking amazing. From MF Doom. This album right here should be. I like it at 18, but I would make an argument that it could go lower. This album is very very influential in the underground rap scene. This album was played all throughout a couple episodes of the Boondocks back when it was a couple of MF Doom songs were there from this album, and this album is crazy.
Okay.
So number 17 is Kanye West Yeezus. 16 Cardi B Invasion of Privacy. Number 15 Eric B and Rakim Paid in Full. I can see that because this is obviously came out in 1987. This is where my dad's OG era. So this is where me going over to my dad's house and listening to OG hip hop. This album is crazy too. I think it's okay at 15, but a lot of people will make argument that it's lower. Ghostface Killah Supreme Clientele. Album's fucking amazing. Instrumentally nuts. Dr. Dre's 2001. Yeah, you can make that argument. This album has a lot of Dr. Dre's hits. Obviously on the next episode, Explosive. Just a lot of The Watcher Part 2. And yeah,
but they have that higher than the Chronic. Is it the Chronic?
They do have this higher than the Chronic. But I think the Chronic, I think just this album more based off the hits. This album's crazy though, hit wise. It is good. And this is around the time where Eminem was just about to blow up, and he was laced all over this album. So,
yeah.
Clips Lord Willin. This album is crazy, but I don't think it's number 12. This is obviously Pusha T and his brother and Pharrell. What's his brother's name again? Malice. On this is their first album together, and this obviously has the infamous song "Grindin'" on there. But the album as a whole,
I actually might be one of my favorite hip hop songs of all time.
Yeah,
easily. I actually think it's one of my favorite hip hop songs of all time.
11 is Drake Take Care.
That's crazy to me. And I know we just came off
maybe
of
top. I wouldn't say. I'd say top 50.
Maybe, but
11 is crazy. 11 is crazy.
Like who's in the room?
10 is Lauryn Hill. Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. I agree with this. I do.
Yeah.
Because this album is so impactful in hip hop, even though there are some segments where she's singing and actually not rapping. When she's rapping, it's literally it's like you can't touch her. Like no one's coming close to that.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? Her rapping on this was absolutely insane. And it goes to show how much influence it has on the hip hop, because a lot of rappers have sampled this album. Drake obviously has done it a million times, so I'm okay with it being there. Number 9 is A Tribe Called Quest, Low in Theory. Great album from them. I believe it's their debut. Sorry, not their debut. Their sophomore album, and yeah, classic. I don't know if I have it at number 9 though for my personal top 10. Wu-Tang, Enter the Wu-Tang 36 Chambers. This is their debut album from 93. This album is fucking crazy from front to back, instrumentally, lyrically wise. And what's crazy about this album is that I've never heard an album where it's like you have like 8 niggas and they're all just equally just
kind of getting their shit off.
And
like it flows nice and it makes sense. I know what you're trying to say.
I've never heard an album where they all get their shit off and they're all just so have all like enough time for them to all
and it all hits.
It doesn't there was never a moment where like I wanted more of Ghost or I wanted more of Method. It was just all perfectly laid out. And for their debut instrumentally, it's just like classic for sure. I might have it at number 8. Yeah. Number 7 was Missy Elliott's Missy So Addictive. I don't agree with this being at number 7. This album is good, but it does have Get Your Freak On, 1 Minute Man on there. These are obviously big tracks. Yeah. Those are big hits from her. And the production from Timbo.
Some of her biggest maybe even.
Yeah, on this record. But the album as a whole isn't bad. I just don't know if I have it at number 7.
Yeah.
Number 6. This is a big one. So My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. We can make the argument that it could be top 10. I don't see it being a top 6 album of all time, but this album is fucking phenomenal. It's easily top 20.
It is, and it's again like I would have to go through the list more and go through my own personal list, and my own personal discography. I have My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy really high up there.
Yeah. But the thing with Kanye's discography, it's just so difficult because some days I switch. I'm like, there's a lot of days I'm like, I know College Dropout's number 1, but some days I want to put my Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy over it.
But I also feel like the reason My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy is like up there is because of when it came out in my life. I was 19, university, driving. I remember going to the mall and picking up the CD.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like it was just like I was unpacking. Like I was just like really, really getting into like music. Like I was always into music because I remember being like in grade 5, just downloading songs off of LimeWire. I was always big into music. Just downloading old Elephant Man songs. At that age.
And this nigga was spitting on here.
Yeah, spitting. And he was
rapping. This is probably Kanye's best rap. I don't know if I like it better than College Dropout, but like it's probably the second best. But he was going off on this shit.
Yeah,
he was going off rapping wise. Number 5, To Pimp a Butterfly. Great album.
Like maybe, and just because of the context and the actual message and what he was getting across, like I could maybe rock with it.
Okay, this was a tricky one. Public Enemy, It Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back. So now, I'm not a big Public Enemy guy. I don't listen to their albums. I don't. I listen to them single wise because sometimes I feel I don't want to say overwhelmed by the the Black Power part of it. I need it more in my life, but I just think that in album form is just a little. Maybe I'm not gonna say it not like it's too much, but I don't know. There's just something there's not, and it's not crazy. I do like their songs. Like a lot of their songs are crazy. I just think their songs are meant for certain moments in your life where you just feel like you want to feel empowered. I don't know, but like I said, I haven't listened to this body of work. It's definitely their discography is something I definitely want to get into. But I do like the songs they have individually. Songs I hear individually from them, I do like. But I just feel like I don't know. It just might be a little. I don't know. It's hard, and that's the thing. This album at number 4 makes me want to go listen to it. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
And obviously, I know Flavor Flav obviously was a big deal in hip hop back in the day. So no, just hearing a full album from them, I definitely want to get into. But I don't really get number 4. I don't really understand it, why it could be. But the next one I do, Jay-Z The Blueprint. Obviously, that's like one of the best rap albums I think ever. From front to back, this has Song Cry. This has H to the Izzo. This has the song that where he dissed Nas that caused the whole beef and the whole hip hop beef, the takeover on there. Card of the City is on here. Renegade with Eminem's on here. Yeah. This album's crazy nuts. Front to back. This one this is Jay-Z's best album, but sometimes I like to switch between this and the Black Album.
I agree with you on that. It's funny because that was the other album that I would have said of Jay-Z. That might be my other favorite. Might be the Black Album. Especially because Lucifer's on that album. Yeah. And that's probably one of my favorite Jay-Z songs. And that's the thing.
Jay-Z even says I switch from time to time when I have number 1. But
he has Black Album up there?
No, he said he says it's the Blueprint, but he said he switches them from time to time. I guess moments in his life where he's like,
Yeah.
Number 2's Outkast Akonia. This album is crazy. It is good, but I just don't think this is not the second best rap album of all time. No. I would take 4, and they even said on the Joe Budden podcast, Park was like, I would take 3 other Outkast albums and put it
over this one. Yes, I remember. Easily, I heard him say that also.
AT Aliens is way better. What's the? Oh my god, I gotta figure out that album. The name's just not ringing a bell. Sorry, Aquemini. That's that one's way better. I would put Aquemini maybe at number 2. Even then, I don't think I would. I'd probably also put Speaker Box and Love Below. That's the last one they did before they split up, and it has Prototype. That one, I think that album sold a lot of records. Yeah, it made a lot of sales. And then number 1, obviously, Notorious B.I.G. Ready to Die. This is the only one being number 1. This is the only one where I can kind of understand. Yeah, it could be number 1. I can understand it, and you know what I mean. And if someone told me it's the best album of all time, the best rap album of all time, I wouldn't be like, nah.
Yeah, but for the most part, this list is pretty nonsense. It's all over the place.
It's even after that, number 2 is like wrong.
Yeah.
Number 3, you're like it's wrong, but maybe. You know what I mean? And it's like for me, it's just more so. I was listening to Shade 45. I was listening to Rude Jude, and he was saying it's like I can't be mad. I can't be mad at the young. He's like I can't be. Like, I think it was quote for quote. He's like I can't be mad at these young fuckers. Saying that this is better than this because. That's the time where they grow up and they started getting into hip hop. But this is my thing. It's like if you're a young kid and you're getting into rap and you like this kind of shit, go back. Like, you know what I mean? I did it.
And I did too. But I'm saying, especially now, when you could just go on your phone and literally look up like anything.
Yeah.
Like I remember being like, maybe what like
the only way we were hearing new music is if it was from a CD or it was through the radio.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like. At this time, it's like, like these young kids are like, I will never argue with a kid who goes like, oh, this album's better than this, because it's a waste of my time because you don't even do your homework. If you're a real rap OG, that's why I respect kids or younger guys, younger cats than me that are like, yo, like they know certain other rap songs. I'm like, I respect that because it's like, you appreciate your music that you have now, but you also go back and see where it really originally started from. Yeah. So it's like, if you don't have that type of knowledge, then you can't come talk to me about rap.
No, I
you know what I mean? You can't.
Like if you're not, and again, it's not even like
because we did our homework. I went back, like man, starting from when I was maybe like 13. You know how much research I had to do to really like get how much albums I had to listen to really like understand where hip hop comes from. Like And I still do now. There's some albums that I haven't even heard yet. Like even like we were just talking about Public Enemy. Like I want to go back and take it in and really understand them on the level that they're on because their shit is definitely empowered. Their shit is definitely impactful in the rap community.
No, it's true.
And it was
like,
back in the 80s.
For me, Pac, I haven't listened to too much Pac, and I actually download like this was like maybe like a couple months ago. I actually like downloaded from Apple Music like a lot of just Pac stuff.
And where is Pac on here? I haven't seen one Pac album.
There's
Top
no-
20?
yeah.
Oh, here we go. 29.
29 Pac. I see, but that's what this album clearly is a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, it is.
Clearly,
Yeah,
a lot of
look at all
people
these
think it's a
Yo,
bunch of
Doggy
bullshit.
Style 35, Lil Wayne 39, Chronic 40, Liquid Swords 44. That may make sense.
But no, it's like good point though. Like I do like you can't blame these young kids.
Talk to me about it. I did my homework.
But yeah, you can't blame
So
these. But it's like you said,
I can't blame them. I
these
can't.
young kids.
I
But
can't.
like you need to at least go back and do your homework, especially because it's so easily accessible now to go back and listen to just older hip hop from where these new people that you're listening to now came from.
And half the shit you're listening to is taken from this kind of shit. Take it from the original, right? And that's the thing. It's just like a lot of people like there's like songs that people play and I'm like, yo, do you even know where the original like where the song really came from? They're like, nah. I'm like, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. I don't know. It's weird, but this list was definitely off. It definitely made me want to go back and listen to a lot of other albums, but.
Did you random thing because we were talking about the Drake album. Maul was saying that he was like he heard Irv Gotti say that he was like when he listened to the Drake album, it made him want to go back into the streets and try and find the next DMX.
That's crazy.
I just have to throw that roast out there.
No, that's funny. That's funny.
All right, so you want to segue to Chris Brown?
Yeah, let's do it.
And then
Three's the album, and that's the thing I haven't. And you know what sucks about this is that I like that's why we need a week between albums because like I haven't really got to really
Chris Brown
take it in.
I haven't either. So let's just do this quick. Chris Brown, it was. I think it was good. I just like my co-host was saying, like I think I just need more time to kind of maybe go through it again and actually take in the songs that I like because like I can't even really pinpoint any certain.
I had the list right here, but that's the thing. It's like, but if I tell you the song, you won't be like.
I won't even be able to pinpoint it. But it was good off of the first listen from what I heard. Honestly, Chris Brown is that guy. That guy.
Can I start it?
What?
Like, can I? Are you going first?
Oh, what?
Like I'm on the album, yeah.
Chris Brown thoughts?
Yeah,
go ahead. I'll just finish quick because I really don't have much to say.
Yeah.
I just want to say Chris Brown is that guy. Been that guy. You've been a fan of him for like obviously from when he came out because like he's what? How old is he? Like a few years older than me, maybe 32, 33 or something like that.
He's definitely in his 30s. 33.
33. So like, yeah, like. You know what I mean? Even when he was going through the whole, Rihanna business and he was on this downturn, like I was still saying Breeze that
he was
guy.
Still making bangers at them times.
He was, and because he's mad talented and like again, like he's really good. They even like, did you hear on the Joe Budden podcast where they were talking about how like he's more talented than Michael Jackson?
Yeah, but I don't think so.
Yo, I might get killed, but he might be. I don't know for sure. I'm not saying it, but. And again,
he's definitely.
I definitely have a Chris Brown bias.
No, but 100%. But I would say he's definitely like the next guy over. He has the dance. He has the voice. Like I don't know if he's a better dancer than Mike. I don't know if he's smoother,
but he overall dance wise,
he's good.
Might be. He's like acrobat. He's like doing backflips and shit. Like
he's definitely
he can act. He acts.
Yeah, he's good.
You know what I mean? Like. Yeah. He's really that guy. So yeah, like, I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Okay, so here's the thing. I like this album because it's a lot shorter. Here's the thing. The last few Chris Brown projects,
they've been long still.
Yeah,
his projects are long still. I ain't gonna hold you,
bro.
I ain't gonna hold you.
So the last album, Indigo, originally had 30 tracks, and then they dropped another thing where it had 33. They added another 3 tracks, so it made 33. Then they added another 10 tracks to make 43. 43 songs on one album of Chris Brown.
That's wild.
And that's the thing, like, people are like a lot of people, like Joe Budden says, like a lot of people are critical on Chris Brown because it's like he doesn't have a classic. And if I were to say he does have a classic, it's his first album.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
and that's what I'm saying. It's like with this album, I was like, it was a little bit more congested. I mean, I don't know. I could get a deluxe next week with another 20 songs.
Straight, and it could be 50.
Crazy. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm saying. But it's just, I think for so the start for that, it was just all congested. And I think it was just all like, not as all over the place as the other ones. and that's what I'm saying. The one before was it Royalty or Heartbreak on a Full Moon? That one had a lot of shit too. But here's the thing: in between, this is like a lot of people like this. I like this Chris Brown album. It just had so many songs. Like, look at this, bro. Look how many songs are here. Look how many additions.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, that's a lot.
He's still there. I'm definitely trying to figure out. I'm at that point where listening to albums. I'm trying to figure out where what songs are going to be the standouts. I'm not too sure. Possessive seems like it's going to be one with Lil Wayne and Young Blue. That song is nice. I like the song with Lil Baby, Addicted. I do like that song. That song's like, I do like the song with Wizkid. One thing that was a little that I liked is that half of it was features, and then the other half wasn't too bad. There was only the Tory Lanez feature after track 12.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. That's one thing I definitely did like. Songs that stand out to me, I do like Psychic. I do like him and Jack Harlow together. I do. I don't mind them too because their song Already Best Friends from Jack Harlow's first album, I love that song. And yeah, like, so Warm Embrace I loved Iffy, but like the two songs that he released before the album I definitely liked a lot. But overall I give it like off first I'd give like a 6 out of 10. 5.5, 6 out of 10.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad.
And he clearly can still sing. He has a little bit of songs where he's rapping and, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah. And the song that he has with her could have been a little bit better. They have other songs together that I like. And this one just wasn't better. That just wasn't that kind of vibe. But it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
Yeah.
What do you think so far?
Well, I gave my thing. Remember, I was just saying that I need more time with it, but it was pretty good. Remember, I was saying that it was pretty good off of the first listen. Probably the same rating, maybe like a 6, 7 off of the first listen. But again, like, because there was a lot of songs, like, I would need to go back
and listen
to be able to pinpoint and to say exactly.
Okay.
Right, we'll end the Chris Brown talk there. All right, so the next item up for business that we are going to get into will be the Logic album. I wasn't even expecting to review this album. I'm not really a Logic person, but I was given some last minute homework by my co-host earlier today. He highly advised me to listen to this album. So this is this is music department right here. So I trust his judgment, and he knows what I'm about with regards to my music taste. So yeah, like you want to get into this?
Yeah, super last second. So you know what? It's so funny because I just finished like updating my Apple library, just like add albums that been wanting to add, but I just haven't put it in there yet. And this was one of them. So I put it in. And I was like, oh yeah, I forgot to add this in because this actually dropped the same day as Honestly Nevermind, but obviously got no love because Drake dropped.
Yeah. Okay.
So. For me, I've listened to all of Logic's discography. I've actually went back and listened to his early mixtapes, and I must say.
So do you like him? Like you?
I like him, but here's the thing: there's some albums that here's the thing about Logic. It's like I do like him. I do. He can definitely rap. He can definitely spit. But my thing is just like there was a point in his career where it kind of started to just get repetitive and get the same. Lyrically, he was still there. Flow, he was still there, but just the content of it kind of fell off. And that's the thing. Like AJ was a big Logic fan.
He was. I remember him talking.
And I think after it was this album, it was the Everybody album that was kind of like this Logic album's not that good. And then after I liked Young Sinatra 4, I thought that was crazy. He came correct on that one. I liked it. And then he dropped Confessions of a Dangerous Mind, which is trash. And then he has this Bobby Tarantino series. He has some line on there about sucking a dick. I can't remember how it goes, but like him rinsing a man just to prove a point and just some crazy shit. So he has that, but then he has his Bobby Tarantino series that he's done. He just did the third one, I think last year. So, and then I think he stopped in 2020 or 2019, and then he retired for a few years, and then came back and then dropped No Pressure, which was mid, and then he dropped Vinyl Days. And then he retired, dropped No Pressure, coming back from before he retired, and then so it was 2 years, and now he's dropped Vinyl Days. This album is actually pretty good. This reminds me of the older upper Logic. This reminds me of Under Pressure Logic, Young Sinatra Logic.
So this is kind of his vibe.
This is Logic.
Because what I was getting, like, I was getting like a lot of like that old school.
Yeah, and especially with the title Vinyl Days. That
Vinyl
means he's
Days.
going back in the vinyl trying to find old rap beats, and you know what I mean, like
Because the beat sounded real old school Wu-Tang-ish.
Mm-hmm.
And again, like obviously like with RZA and like AZ both.
I'm surprised he got an AZ feature on that. That's
Yeah.
great. Like some of the features are, I'm like, say where you got these guys, Premiere he got, the game he got. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I was pretty shocked to see some of and even just having Funkmaster Flex over just hyping.
Yes,
Hey, that was kind of
what
cool.
I was cool, and I was shocked at that too.
And that's the thing. It's like that. It kind of reminded me, kind of not more so of Tyler's "Call Me If You Get Lost" because like it kind of had the oh my god, what's his name? DJ Drama yelling over. It kind of had that kind of like it wasn't as obviously it wasn't as good as that album. That album's great, but it kind of gave me that vibe where I was like, okay, I can get into this. And then just even the kind of skits in between with other rappers, other people in the industry, or some of his friends, that was kind of cool. I like that. Like even having Nardwar, he had rapper Nems kind of like talk shit about him a bit, and then even just having Fantano. That's awesome. Even having the Fantano like phone call was crazy. That was awesome. You know what I mean? So you know what I mean? Just that overall was kind of fun going through, and it was a quick hour and 12 minutes. There was a lot of boom bappy rap beats that I really liked, that I thought was very interesting. I really liked Tetris. Like even opening off that
that
like,
was a good
I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. And then another song that stood out to me, I like the song with him and Wiz.
I do too, actually.
That song was crazy. I even like the beat switch.
I do too, actually. And I'm not the biggest Wiz Khalifa guy,
But he sounds good on those type of beats.
He sounded real good on that beat, and and I'm not the biggest Wiz Khalifa. Even when he was in his prime and that run, I was never behind. Like I was like, yeah, like he's cool, but I was like, I never understood how like the hype, like how like you know what I mean. Like people were like really on the Wiz Khalifa train, and like I was never that guy. But when I heard him on this, I was like, yeah, I'm like, if there was more of this, I would have been.
And that's the thing, he has that, but like it's kind of like you have to go through his albums to get to it, and then you know what I mean. He doesn't have albums where it's full like that.
Yeah,
and that's the thing. Like he sounded great. I loved Breath Control for sure. I really liked I liked Carnival with AZ. The beat on that song's nice. That song's nice. And I really liked Therapy Music with Russ too. I did. I like that song. And I like Quasi. Quasi was good too.
Yeah.
Yeah. What songs you like?
Honestly, I can't really.
Yeah, I know, that's what I'm saying. I was thinking
because I only give it the one listen. But the AZ song, the RZA song,
the song was good too.
The song with the game is nice. The song with Russ wasn't bad. I'm trying to I don't know.
But no,
the
but
I know the song that you were talking about was good.
I know it's hard. I know it's hard for you to like go back because, like I said,
and pinpoint the songs. But honestly, if I were to just give my overall thoughts, I did really like it. That's the kind of rap that I do like. The way he was getting his shit off, like that's the type of rap that I like. Like so, I did enjoy the album, and I was actually pleasantly surprised me listening to it. And I thought I was gonna have to like kind of tough through it a bit and be like so we could talk about it. But I did actually really enjoy the album.
Do you find yourself going back and giving this like a few more listens?
I probably will. I probably will. And if not, maybe a whole listen. But there are a lot of songs on there that I definitely do want to go back to. That I'm like, this is like elite.
Yeah.
Elite.
I'm glad you liked it, man. Honestly, because even when I messaged you, I knew I was like, I got an album for you, and I know you're hoping for something good. But I'm like, I said Logic,
it's funny
because
I was talking to Shanaz. I'm just like, I was like, I knew it was someone a little off.
Yeah.
Because if it was just someone I was about, you would have just sent the album.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, who are you trying to send? I'm like, who are you trying to get me to listen to?
You're like, I was kind of hoping for something a little harder. I expected that response, so I knew it was gonna be something. That's why I was kind of like, let me ease this guy into it.
You're like, yo, Logic, and I was like on my end, I was like, oh. Oh my god! I was hoping like a surprise, like, I don't know, maybe like a Benny the Butcher or some nonsense.
But no, I'm glad I gave you. I'm glad I gave you. Good
I'm glad you did too, because again, you're my music department, and I trust your recommendations, and I really did. I did enjoy the album.
So did I. You know what I mean? I'm glad. I'm kind of pissed that I didn't go back to it like a little earlier, right after Drake, because I was still stuck on the Drake. I forgot this guy even fucking dropped. So. Now that I've taken in the Drake album, I can go and actually like take in this one now. This is something I'm definitely gonna fly back to a lot of times. For
so
sure.
any last thoughts, or is that
no Logic, man? If you ever somehow find yourself watching this, man, like honestly, like keep giving me shit like this.
Yeah, no, same. Honestly, like
now you just put on someone new who could, you know what I mean?
And that's the thing. If you put on stuff like this going forward, like I will definitely be a fan and definitely be listening. So good shit.
Yeah, man.
Last point for this topic, I honestly did not know the man was black. And like y'all can kill me. Like I'm not even trying to.
Yeah, I know.
Or anything.
It's funny because if you're a real Logic like real Logic fans know that he's like, because Logic always comes through and says, yo, like I have to mention that I'm half black. He always mentions the fact of being biracial because he doesn't fucking look it.
Because he doesn't look it. And
so that's why it's so funny. Like,
so I was literally listening to the album and I was hearing some of the skits and I really had to pause and be like, nah.
Or did you hear him say nigga? And you're like, wait, hold on.
No, did he?
He's definitely said.
Oh, he definitely said it. Okay,
yeah.
So maybe I didn't even book that, but it was more just like what are you? You bi, just like the skits of them people calling him biracial, whatever. And I had to stop and be like, yo, this man's black. And you'd have messaged me back and been like, Bin. I was like, Bin?
Yeah.
Bin though? I honestly wanted to come in with the topic and be like, yo, who's like the top white boy
You're gonna have
of
Logic.
the rap game? Russ, Jack Harlow, or Logic.
Yeah.
But Logic don't go. I didn't even realize that. So that was just the last thing I wanted to get off before.
Yeah, it's funny because like somebody who's a Logic fan will probably look at this and be like, how do you not know? But like that's what I'm saying. Real Logic fans know that he's been like, you know,
probably
drilling it into the
and probably preaching it about it because it's probably I get it. I get it. I definitely get it.
But yeah.
So yeah, that's it. That's it for the Logic or the Logic album breakdown. I think that's it for our music breakdown. All right, so next segment we got is our movies and TV segment, but not really any TV shows today, but more just.
That's crazy. We never even seen any of these movies together. Like,
yeah, I guess these last couple
three.
ones. These last couple ones. Yeah, that's true. Actually,
that's okay. We've both seen it. Both
we've both seen the majority of them. I haven't seen Jurassic, the new Jurassic World, so you'll just briefly talk about that. But we're gonna go see Thor 4 in a couple weeks. So we'll have that. We're going together to see that with some of the other boys. So we'll have that. So we'll get into Top Gun to start. So yeah, what'd you think?
Loved it. That's a lot. Like I said, like I didn't see it with y'all, but like that was a lot of fun that I've had in movies in a very long time.
I agree.
And I didn't even see it in IMAX. Like, but I saw it mid screen straight up, and I was still
it was gorgeous. On IMAX.
That's what I'm saying. It's so fucked because like that came out of the movie. I was like, yo, that movie would have been crazy in IMAX.
Like, you know the first scene when he was like,
when he's like goes into the ship and tries to going
over fucking like space and shit.
Yeah.
Yo, that looks so good in IMAX.
Really?
I'm like so good.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah. Go on.
I thought it was amazing. I thought, like, here's the thing, because it's like I haven't seen the first one prior to the second one, so now obviously I went back. I knew about Goose and all that. I've heard the story. I just haven't seen the movie.
Yeah.
So coming out of this really like made me want. Like I literally went home the next day. Like I went home and the next day I was the morning of. I was like, I need to see the first one, and I did, and I liked it. But this one to me was okay. This one was way better.
So, the first one does not hold up at all.
I
watched it before I went to go see it. The first one doesn't hold up at all. The first one, to me, it felt like they tried to get every just trope and known thing that made up action movies, and they tried to pack it into one movie.
So kind of like a Rambo-ish kind of thing.
Not even that, but it was just like that feel, whatever, like the way they directed, the way the action was. It's like whatever made up the fabric of action movies at that time, I feel like was all compacted in that movie.
Yep.
Right? So it doesn't really hold up. Like, it's fine, but it doesn't hold up. So that's why, like, when I was going into the next Top Gun, I had no expectations for this movie. I was excited because I was telling y'all about this from time.
I know.
This movie was supposed to come out in 2020. And then the pandemic hit. And then they just pushed it.
So it was done for time.
Because it was done for time. Previews came out in 2019.
Oh, I didn't know.
I remember watching the very first trailer in 2019. And when I was going into this, I was really just being like, yo, if I see amazing flight scenes and them up in the plane, I'm fine. Even if the story's ass and the characters are ass, as long as I see sick fucking plane shit, I would have been fine. lo and behold, the fucking movie's amazing.
Amazing.
Characters are amazing. Plot's amazing. Story's amazing.
The way Tom Cruise was with the students, the interactions with them, and just building the relationships with them was amazing. Just the fact that I love Tom Cruise's cockiness in the movie and his confidence, like him, just him being like a badass, like just be like, I don't care what you say. Just remember the scene? Are we doing spoilers? Yo, you remember the scene?
But at this point, bear time has passed. Yo, we're getting into this.
Yo, you remember the part where he was like, where they took him off the mission. And then he came and set the time for 30 seconds less of what the time that the goal was.
Oh, when he went, he just
did it dolo,
and he did the course.
I was like that to me is like when I see a scene like that, I'm like, yeah, feel fucking stupid. You want to put me off? You want to put me off this mission? Like you need me.
Yeah.
Those are the kind of moments I live for. Like in life, in movies, it's just like you can't tell me what the fuck I can and can't do. The fact that he dropped it 30 seconds of the mission time, the standard time
that they were trying to.
He beat it by like a millisecond. But like he's still like, you know what I mean? It's just like this goes to show you that we can do this in less than 2 minutes and it can be done. And just the overall ending scene chase the overall mission at the end was crazy. Who he picked, I thought he was gonna pick the cocky blonde white guy. I thought he was gonna pick him, and he didn't get picked, and it humbled him, and how it just goes back to how him saving them in the end, like. All that, like,
no, it was really good because even going back to the first one didn't even really have like a mission.
Yeah, it was just
And like Curtis brought up a good point where he was like, when we were watching, like in the middle of watching it, he was like, yo, this honestly seems like they combined Mission Impossible with Top Gun.
Yeah, because it's just like they
were in the briefing room.
Yeah.
And then he was explaining, and he was like, we have to do it in 2 minutes, and we have to shoot a missile, and then here's the miracle part. Like it literally sounded like Mission Impossible.
It did. No,
and I was like, I fucks with it. Like I'm like, I actually fucks with.
The aspect of it was good. It was good.
It was really good, and like it was gorgeous. I was telling Curtis in the movie, like I'm like, and again because of when Avatar's coming out, it might be considered for the next Oscar season.
Yeah.
But I was like, I wouldn't be surprised if this maybe beat even Avatar
for visuals
in cinematography and visuals. That's how elite
it was. No, it was. It looked amazing
visually.
And that's what I'm saying. I walked out. It's so fucked because like it should be, because I wouldn't be surprised either, because I literally walked out. I'm like, movie was sick, but I'm like, I wish I had that little notch up of IMAX. I did. I'm like, and that's the thing. I'm not too crazy for IMAX. I know you guys are, and I do it anyway just because, you know what I mean. And I know
I'm crazy for IMAX.
I know you are. I know you are. And that's the thing. It's like, when we go to IMAX movies, you always say, it's like, why not, if you're going to see a movie, why not see it in the best visual way possible, right? So I understand, I fuck with that. So I'm like, you know what? Okay, like, I agree. But just see, like, that was the one movie where I actually walked out and I was like, I would have paid the extra, like, $5-6 to go see it in IMAX. You know what I mean? So overall, this is my favorite movie of the year so far.
I know you were saying that.
I know you still have Batman. Or I don't know how.
No, but
even if the movie grows on you, it might. You know what I mean?
I would need to rewatch both of them, but
I didn't walk out of. Here's the thing: I didn't walk out of Batman being like, "Wow!" I walked out like, "Yeah, it was cool. Like, it was good. I liked it a lot."
No, I walked out.
I think for me, it's because when I go into movies that I don't expect, like I don't have anything to really expect much for it, and it surprises me. I think and then I think that plays a big part into my my choice.
Yeah.
But I think maybe even if, like, after going back and watching the first one, I'm like, no, this wouldn't hype me up enough for me to, you know what I mean?
Because Top Gun is better than Doctor Strange. Multiverse.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, for sure.
The Batman, when I first walked out, it didn't hit me, but it was more when days went by and I was like, and I had time to really think about the movie, that I was like, the Batman is elite.
Did you, have you given it a second watch this?
I haven't yet.
Shocking.
I know I've been struggling. I bear shows like Obi-Wan and Miss Marvel on Disney Plus drop, so I've been kind of balancing those and trying to do the videos.
Yeah.
But like it's honestly like maybe the Batman and I don't know, like they're neck and neck, and I would have to like maybe rewatch both of them to maybe make a final decision. But that, like, if you would have asked me beforehand if I thought Top Gun would have been on the same level as Batman in my list, I would have been like, absolutely not. Mm-hmm. But it is, and it's that elite.
Mm-hmm. It was, honestly, man, when I trust me, when I walked out, I was like, yo, like, I actually had like so much fun in a movie, because obviously I'm with my boy, I'm making jokes over the movie or whatever. But as just that experience, I was like, I wish I had them in the movies more. You know what I mean? Because like that was a great experience. That was a movie where, you know, when people say in the movie it's fun, and you know what I mean, it's a fun movie. That was generally a fun movie.
It was just an enjoyable.
Yeah, it was awesome.
No, I agree. All right, so next movie was
Lightyear.
No, I think Jurassic World. We saw Lightyear. It was Jurassic World. Jurassic World was the one after. was after.
It came out. Didn't Jurassic World come out just now?
No, that came out June 10th, and then Lightyear was the 17th, which was last week, right? I think because we saw Lightyear.
So the fucked up thing is that I saw it after Lightyear. I just seen it a couple of days ago.
Okay.
So
I haven't seen Jurassic Park. From what I was hearing, it was getting mixed reviews. People were saying it was a little convoluted, and it didn't deliver the way people expected.
I totally agree. And here's the thing: it's like I have this probably as the second best one out of the trilogy. I didn't like the second one at all. The second one is like very like I don't like. I just remember me leaving the theater. I was like, I didn't like this.
I feel like I don't even really remember.
That's what I'm saying. I just remember in the second one they were in a museum and
because is the first one where they're in the glass balls?
Yeah.
On the island.
Yeah.
Okay, so I remember that one. I don't really remember the second one.
So this one, like honestly, man, like. Just very it's literally like I don't even know how to explain it. It's just literally the same kind of vibe. Like it's just the same vibe out of the three. Like the dinosaurs and all that stuff in it. Yeah, cool. It's just like they're just like
visually look good.
Visually look good, but it just feels like they're just upping it a notch. Like when they go, when you watch like the Fast and the Furious movies and you just see how it just gets ridiculous and more ridiculous after every movie, or like Transformers just gets It has that kind of vibe, and like I said, like this movie still is kind of really out. Like I know some people probably haven't seen it.
Like I heard like the plots bear like scientists and genetics something and all this nonsense, and I'm just like,
and that's the thing, it's like for a child, like that's the thing, it's like 9 times out of 10, like I know this is supposed to be a kids movie, it's like kids are not really getting that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
No,
most kids are just focused on dinosaurs, and that's the thing, like a lot of these kids movies or like PG rated movies are coming really adult based in regards of getting the plot off, I think, because remember Incredibles 2, how like it was a kids movie but it just felt more adultish.
Yes,
Incredibles 2 felt like
it felt like the movie aged with its audience,
and that's like the best way to put it. And I'm not saying it's like this, but I'm just saying it's like for a kids movie, it's like that's hard for a kid. Like for example, I saw that with my goddaughter and her godmother. Sorry, I went to see that with my goddaughter and her mom, and we were watching it, and when the movie was done, she was like, that felt like an adult movie. Like I don't think kids would understand that, and that's the thing. I think that's what they're kind of doing here, and I don't know. But this movie was okay. It wasn't the worst, but it's definitely watchable. And
okay. I'm gonna have to. Hopefully, it comes on like Netflix.
And that's what's crazy. Like, what I'm noticing?
Like you know what I mean?
Off topic. I think it's kind of crazy that like movies are just coming straight on a streaming services like in the matter of like a month. Like Doctor Strange is on Disney Plus.
I know, but
without purchase, like I don't have to buy it.
No, I know, but see, so this is a side. You're right, side topic. But this is what the pandemic did to studios. Streaming. And to even just the way streamings are because.
But does this fuck up like the overall grossing of the money and paying because it's still in theaters? Like I don't know, like do some, you know what I mean? It's weird. It's like does that take away?
Yes, to a degree, because even like the Batman was still in theaters when it came out on Crave.
Right.
Spider-Man was. Spider-Man
got his run. That movie made money. Got his run,
but you're right. And it does.
Is it on Disney Plus now?
No, well, it's not gonna go to Disney because it's Sony. So it might go to Netflix or some shit first. Right. But yeah, like
it's weird. It's like, but here's the thing. It's like I'm a type of guy where it's like, are we? Or not even it doesn't have to do with me, but it's kind of like, are we switching to that point where it's like, are we done going to the movies and just like kicking up at home? There's nothing that will take away the experience of going to a movies.
Nothing.
We could go to the movies a million times and you could do it at home. It's not gonna
be the same. And I would say maybe there was a point where it seemed like that, but not anymore. Because I was literally watching,
especially when like people, I think once the restrictions and all that stuff lifted, it kind of went back to its regular.
I was literally watching a video a couple of days ago that was saying like the movies are one of my YouTube mans that were like talking about a study, and it was just like people are going back to the movies more than ever now. Like it's finally going back, and it's just like at the end of the day, like
I think, and that's the thing.
Like the movies in the movie theater. Are the movies that actually power the industry. And when those movies make big money, like say Disney makes big money from Avengers, then they're able to use some of that money to make a smaller movie that may not gross as much. Right? So that's where the movie theater system, to me, will always be important. Obviously, because I love going to the movie theaters and I love that experience. Like there's nothing like you said, like nothing you compare watching Avengers Infinity War on your big screen to the actual IMAX screen, there's nothing even close. It's not close.
It's not at all.
It's not close.
And that's the thing. I think the experience of going to the movies is going to be the reason why it doesn't obviously get taken over by streaming. But here's the thing. I feel like it's like once the actual movie in itself makes it, or the people that make the movie are like, okay, I'm comfortable with this amount of money to where we could throw it out there, because they do get some revenue off the people who are subscribed, right? So I guess they get a certain percentage of whatever money comes monthly. So at the same time, they're still making their money at the same breath. But obviously, people don't get that experience.
Yeah, but it's still not as much as like the movie theater. And like the thing is, like the industry knows, like if the movie theaters don't survive, the industry would have a hard time surviving. So it's not like if movie theaters close, like Disney Plus and Netflix and all these places aren't just going to be streaming seamlessly. Like they won't even have money to like Disney. Like if somehow like they stop releasing like big, like the theaters just died, they wouldn't have all that money for all these Marvel shows that they're putting on there. You know what I mean? So like the movie theaters and the money that the movies in the movie theaters make for the entire industry like can't even be like talked about with how important it actually is, like how important the movie theater industry is just to the entire thing, streaming all those other different forms.
Yeah,
with regards to financing other different forms of like media.
Yeah, it's true. Makes sense.
Yeah, so
Lightyear.
Yeah, I'll briefly get into Lightyear. And then we want to get into ball talks. So yeah, for Lightyear, it was enjoyable. It was enjoyable. I liked it. It was like not like I loved it.
It was definitely
the first half to me was better than when it started getting into like the
main mission kind of thing, and
and when he was kind of going back in time a lot.
Yeah.
But it was watchable. Obviously, it was not on the same level.
I don't see how it would be a favorite movie to a kid in Toy Story though.
No, for sure. But like, it's not even supposed to be a toy. It's like a Toy Story adjacent. Like they said in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, it was like, this is Andy's favorite movie. I'm like, this is Andy's favorite movie. I'm like, I found way more entertaining shit than this as a kid.
No, but it's like how Woody had his own TV show with
Woody's Roundup. Yeah.
It's basically just that for him. So like, I didn't mind it, and I was able to get past that pretty easily. But yeah, the movie's not like super memorable. Like
it's not
like there are other Pixar movies that have like a deadly like even
like.
Well,
here's the thing. It's shocking because all the Toy Story movies are good. I thought it would kind of have that same type of Toy Story feel, and you know what I mean. But it didn't. Which I understand. It's a side movie. It's like, you know what I mean, one of those Star Wars side movies. But yeah, it wasn't the worst.
All right, so I think that might be it for movies. All right, so final topic is our NBA segment, basketball segment. So we're going to briefly talk about the finals. Now that the finals are done, Golden State Warriors are the champions. So what do you think the outcome was going to be? Obviously, when we found out that, and obviously since the last pod,
the last time we did the pod,
you picked Boston
to win.
No, you picked Boston over Miami last time because last time it wasn't even the finals yet. I picked Miami. So I was wrong on that. My co-host was right in picking Boston. It was Boston, Golden State. So what did you think at that point when you obviously saw that it was going to be Boston?
I knew it was going to be tough, but I still knew there was too much over. Like I said, I was going to say in my head, I was thinking if Curry plays like Curry, they have no chance. And that's the thing. It's like
Boston had no chance.
No. And that's the thing. It's like there was maybe 5 out of the 6 games I played where Curry played like Curry. That's the thing. Game 1, he had a crazy first half, but then they somehow lost it, and they lost.
Yeah.
But I was like, Curry's still playing like Curry, and then he had the big game. I think it was Game 4 where he had like 43 points or whatever. That game where he snapped. That's when I knew it was done, because I knew if he has anything remotely close to that, which is a high chance. Yeah, I knew it. But I had him in 6. I had him in 6, and it did come out like that. I don't know what you really had. I don't remember.
We didn't really pick because we were still picking the Eastern Conference Finals at that time. So I don't even think we.
I think we had a mini prediction in the first one where we're like, if
it goes Boston, if it goes Miami.
I think we did.
I was more like, I was like, if I had to bet, I was going more Golden State. But when I was watching, there was part of me that was like, yo, Boston might be able to do it. Like they really do match up well.
They do.
And like, but yeah, it was like a really good series. And you could see the inexperience come through in Boston with the turnovers, the lack of fourth quarter shot making.
Yep.
There was just a lot of inexperience. And that's where
where it comes, like Golden State's obviously the more experienced team. They've been there bare times.
And that's where I was saying if Miami made it, I feel like they would have been more disciplined.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like they wouldn't have been turning the ball over and stuff like that, right?
I can see that.
So yeah, it was a good series. Golden State Warriors end up winning their Steph Curry and Draymond and Clay end up winning their 4th ring.
Curry finally gets Finals MVP.
Fucking Wardell. I actually made a TikTok
Did you?
earlier today. Have you seen that video of Steph Curry doing like that dance move where everyone's like killing it, where he was celebrating the championship and he was doing like that?
I don't think I have.
You haven't seen that? So there's this thing where like he was just celebrating and he was like doing this dance move and bare people are like, yo, that should actually go hard. It actually does. Like it actually does go hard. And I made like a video where like I basically explained like how I was an OKC fan, or like how I'm an OKC fan, and like how like they murked my whole team, they murked my team and came back from 3-1 and dismantled my team and all that, right? And I was basically letting them know that like there is a deep hate for Wardell Steph and the Warriors, but you know what I mean. As the basketball purists, I have to, you know what I mean. I have to give my congratulations. I have to give my dues. They're, you know what I mean. They're good. Steph Curry is that guy, and that dance move that he did was fucking hard. That shit was fucking hard. You know what I mean? I gotta give it to him. I gotta see
that. I gotta see that video. I haven't
seen it. You might honestly bring it up. Be like, yo, Google it quick. Steph Curry dance video or I don't know. I don't even know what exactly to Google. While you're Googling, is there anything else that you wanted to say about the finals?
No. Sorry, like I mean,
you look. I'll you look up the video. I'll try and like so. I'm trying to think if there was anything else that stuck out to me. Andrew Wiggins was a big surprise. I know a lot of people were killing Wiggins when they first acquired him. Mm-hmm. Or not killing Wiggins, but killing the Warriors, saying that like he's not going to really help them too much.
Was he in the game when he was dancing?
No. This was like
I can't find it. It was in the parade?
Yeah, like the parade or something. Yeah. It'd be like Steph Curry parade dance or championship win dance or something. But yeah, like when they were killing the Warriors when they first acquired Wiggins, and even though obviously Wiggins isn't KD, but even when they signed him, I was like, that's not the worst move, because I was like, he's really just like a Harrison Barnes in a sense, and they won a championship with Harrison Barnes.
A better Harrison Barnes, yeah.
So like, I really didn't think that was like a bad decision. So, and it ended up being like a solid pickup. They ended up winning the championship, and you know what I mean, now that guy's coming back to Canada with a ring, you know. So
yeah,
good for the Warriors. Good for the Warriors.
Yeah, honestly, I'm just like, I think this champ, like honestly, like even Stephen A was saying it on First Take. He was like, yo, honestly, he was like, honestly, the Warriors just, if nothing happens crazy in the offseason, like the Warriors just might win it again. Like
they possibly could, and like it's crazy. Like I can't even, again, another reason why I can't even hate is because they had their years where they were shit. They did. They had back-to-back. Like after we beat them,
they had two. Yeah.
Like they had their years where it wasn't like, okay, we're 6th, 7th, and then we're going out in the first round. Like we're like 15th.
Yeah, the year after they were 15th, and then the year after that,
they didn't make the playoffs.
They were in the play-in and they
didn't make it. So it's just like I give them that they were down and they still figured it out and came back and now won a championship. So I got to give them their dues on that. Yeah, I don't know if there's anything else that you want to say, but is Steph Curry a top 10 player all time?
It's funny because earlier after they won, I was saying yeah, but right now it's kind of like I kind of need to like see maybe one more, maybe one, like a couple, like the rest.
Same, maybe. And if he gets another one, he might go up more to like that, like 7-ish, 8-ish range.
Yeah, but I like honestly, like if someone told me he's top 10 right now, I'd be like, I wouldn't be mad at that.
I wouldn't be mad either. I probably have him maybe like 12th. If anything, like 10 max.
Yeah.
Max.
Like 11, 10 for me.
Because I remember I was going over like a brief list with Curtis. Like I would probably have like, obviously Jordan, Bron, Kobe, Duncan, Shaq.
And that's the thing. It's like it gets to the guys like Kareem and Hakeem. It's like we didn't watch those men. You know what I mean? Like those guys were like playing like Magic.
Kareem, Magic Johnson.
Larry Bird.
Like I might put Steph Curry above Larry Bird. Like maybe. Like
Karl Malone.
Like Hakeem Olajuwon. Not really Karl Malone, because Karl Malone never won a chip, but Hakeem. Like Hakeem won 2.
Oscar Robertson, most people have. I'm like, I don't. Bill Russell. I'm like, I don't. I mean, we didn't watch those guys, so it's kind of like it's hard. But we can obviously, like I said, we do our homework. We can go back and see how much content we can of them to see what those like. But it's not.
Again,
it's different than actually watching them in a game and live in the moment.
No, for sure.
But
that's where like I do trust like the historians and the people that
too.
say like Kareem and the people that say like Wilt and like you know what I mean. And like I know the numbers were like godly, but like I do trust them, and like even from like more our era, like I could name like 8 that I would probably put above Steph Curry. Like I name Jordan, Bron, Duncan, Kobe, Shaq. And I know this is in our area, but I probably would put Magic Johnson just because like he's you know what I mean. He like again from the footage, like he is the best passer to probably ever play. Just like even just stylistically wise, like behind the backs, all that kind of shit, right? I might put Hakeem, like, and I know Hakeem only won 2, but like, I think I might put Hakeem just because like I know he's considered to be one of the best defensive players of all time. So that's where it's just like that side of the ball has to be equated to some stuff.
You said Shaq already, right?
Shaq. But yeah, like so with regards to me, like I would probably put Steph Curry maybe like if max maybe 10. So he might be top 10, but I'd have to go over the list, but for sure, like he's probably like a 12. 12 for me. So like just outside. So if he goes and ends up winning
another
ring,
chip with another Finals MVP and then a couple first team All NBAs and
he might push up to like 7th for me or something like that, like in that list. So yeah, I don't know what and like again, you said right now you probably have him like just outside or you need more time, right?
I have him like 10, 11, but if someone told me right now he's top 10, I'd be like, okay. I wouldn't argue it. You know what I mean?
All right, yeah. Anything else about the finals of the Warriors?
No, I'm just interested to see. I'm actually really excited for free agency to see where it goes from there. But
so good segue. I was going to ask you, like, are there any free agent moves or off-season stuff that kind of has you intrigued?
I did, but it just got announced today that Curry is opting into the 30. What is it? 37 million?
Yeah, yeah. So when we're recording this, obviously the KD Kyrie news regarding their stay in Brooklyn was going on.
And that's the thing. It's like it's crazy because now it's like they were even saying just because he opts in doesn't mean that he still can't request a trade like down the line. You know what I mean? That's still a thing.
Yeah,
but just even if he did it, because he had until Wednesday to opt in or opt out, right?
Yeah.
So if he did it on Wednesday, that means that he's leaving, and I can't see Durant wanting to stay and playing with just him and Ben Simmons.
No.
And you know what I mean? So that means that he might be on the market too. And it's just like I think with them both realizing at the same, like, I don't know what happened, I don't know what was said between them two, but I'm sure there was a moment where they spoke about it and was like, yo, listen, there's teams out there that can't put enough for us to get out there I think that the Nets office will be like, yeah, we'll take it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, yo, let's lock in. We got Ben Simmons, hopefully he's healthy, and let's lock in and try to make another one. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like it wouldn't do them justice going out like that, like getting swept by the young Boston Celtics when there's a lot of potential talent on that team.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like I feel like if I'm Durant, I'd be like, yo, if I'm Durant talking to Kyrie, like, yo, let's run the back. Yo, that was fucking embarrassing. Let's actually go back here and try to like make some noise because we have a team for it. They got the rebounding. Drummond's still there. They got Steph still there. Like their team is still pretty solid on paper. It's just everyone just needs to lock in, and Kyrie's got to get off that whole I don't know what's the word. He's just I wouldn't say political, but just that kind of. Yeah, you know what I mean, he's got to get off that.
Have you heard anything regarding the Raptors?
I haven't. Did you see who we drafted? Christian Koloko?
I didn't. Still,
so
no, I didn't.
He's a 7-foot power forward, but obviously the Raptors are going to put him at center, and he looks good. A lot of people that do Raptors podcasts and stuff like that are saying that this guy's gonna be real. Like, you know, he could potentially be the real deal. But the only thing is that he's gonna have to fight for minutes from Precious, which I don't think that would be too hard to do. If you're really what you are, like if you're really that nice of people were saying you are, then you should be able to lock in that. So
agree.
So I think it's good that we finally have a center, and he also has ties to Pascal. I think him and Pascal grew up in the same area, like maybe a hood or two away. So you know what I mean. So they've definitely seen each other down the line and played, and you know what I mean. They both know who each other are. They're both from Congo, of course. Besides, big from Africa, and you know is big on bringing African players to the Raptors, which I love because. Obviously, the Raptors at one point were just all Italian men's and European men's at one point. So, you know what I mean? I think it's now we're keeping it black over here now from Africa. I love that.
Me too. Yeah, no, I honestly I haven't been too on top of the free agent.
I'm honestly like I said, like free agency starts. I think
stuff.
I think it starts Saturday morning. It's usually the Saturday morning of July, the first Saturday.
Okay.
So yeah. So
quick thing. Remember, John Wall signed with the Clippers. That's what.
So he's bought out, and then Clippers are gonna match the contract or whatever. They're gonna pay. Yeah. Do you know how much money it is?
No.
I think it's like 26 or 30 million. That's somewhere around there, somewhere around that bracket. But yeah, him with the Clippers, I honestly I don't really know how I feel about that. Like, it's just there's a lot of what ifs. Like, are you healthy? What's the jump shot saying? I know he didn't have a jump shot before, so I don't know with the Achilles tear that maybe it forces him to shoot the ball more. So I just don't know what kind of jump I'm gonna get. I know the passing I know the floor. Like, he's not. I wouldn't say he's a floor general, but he's good with controlling the ball in the court, and he does get good passes. He's gonna be great.
Yeah, like he did average high assist numbers, and but the biggest question is Kawhi. Like, is Kawhi coming back?
I think he will.
I know he's coming back, but like I told you, like it's out there that hasn't even done full contact.
I think he will. Yet. I think if you don't hear anything about him without contact by August, then I think we should probably be worried.
Yeah, but even just like the fact that he hasn't done anything is still so shocking to me. Yeah. Like, it's like, guy, it's been over a year.
And it wasn't like I was saying earlier, like it's not even a full tear, it's a partial tear. So it's like that's kind of like a crack maybe.
So I don't know. Kawhi, at least we got him for that year that he was somewhat good money, and
you know what's so funny? He wasn't even good money.
He wasn't good money.
We just nurtured. We just blessed him with the days off, and
that's true. Still,
they're not playing back to backs, no back to backs.
That's true. Still,
so it's kind of like I don't know. Free agency is going to be interesting. It's going to be. I'm interested to see what Masai does. I truly don't think he'll do anything. I think maybe he'll re-sign Thaddeus Young. I think we get rid of Chris Boucher.
Actually,
I don't think he's eligible for some good money, so I don't think Raptors are going to pay him, especially because they now have this young guy here now. I don't think they keep him. But I'd be surprised. I'm interested to see what Masai does. I don't expect anything big, but I mean, with Masai, anything can happen. So if there is a free agent that's big on the market, like hopefully we can figure it out. Maybe we can hopefully we can get a good center.
All right, yeah. You got anything else?
For basketball.
We're ending this pod on sports.
Oh, I just want to say there will be no better parade than the 2019 Raptors parade.
Straight.
That Golden State Warriors parade was ass. It had a lot of people, but like it was not what was in Toronto.
Nah.
I saw the pictures. I was like, yeah, right. I'm like, huh? You think that's lit? Should have came in Toronto in 2019.
Yeah,
that shit was crazy. And it's funny. Even the one before that, Milwaukee one was ass. I don't know if you saw that one. They had no one there.
I didn't still.
So you know what I mean? Like, just want to say that all the NBA fans out there will be no parade better than the 2019 2019 championship Raptors parade. Find me one, I'll wait. I will gladly wait. Find me a parade better than that, I'll wait.
Talk to him. So yeah, I think that might be it for episode 2. I don't think we have really anything else. I guess off the Warriors thing, a little joke quick. Did you hear Joe Budden and them talking about
them having the worst ball takes in history?
No, about how like how Seth and Steph's parents were at the game.
Oh yeah, with two different people.
Yeah,
I didn't hear him talk about it though, but I seen that. It was low key jokes.
So we'll just end with this little story. So obviously, if you guys haven't seen one of the finals games, Steph, Del Curry and Steph's mom, they're not together anymore.
That from early in the season 2, that was a thing.
So they're not together, but they were at the game, obviously supporting their baby, but they were on opposite sides of the stadium. Mm-hmm. First of all, which is mad funny, and then take in that the white girl. The white meat, as Joe Budden called him, the white girl that Dell was with is the ex-wife of the man that Steph's mom's with.
No, I didn't even know that. Is that true? Is that true?
Yeah, and I heard that before Joe Budden and them were talking about it. And then Joe Budden and them were talking about it. So I was dying, and I'm like, fam, that is an entanglement.
Yeah, that's crazy. They probably know each other from that. They probably know.
So that's what Parks and them were saying. They were like, okay. They were like, so was this maybe like a swinging situation gone wrong?
Maybe.
You know what I mean? Like they tried it out, and then it just backfired, and then they ended up literally just switching.
Maybe.
Or was it like a petty? I don't know. Like it was just like it was mad funny to find out that bit of information
that they knew each other.
Like that is an entanglement to the max.
Yeah, that's weird as fuck. being at the age I am now and understanding, I'd be like, what were you? I'd be like, what were you on?
And so Joe Budden obviously, and then we're making jokes. So Joe Budden was saying that Seth Curry paged him.
Page 2.
Joe. Seth Curry messaged him.
Ever said what?
And was like, obviously because he's a fan of the show, and they got into stuff, like got not into stuff, but they were talking about stuff, and he was like, I'm not gonna obviously fully explain all this other stuff that we got into, but he's like, but what I can say that he said was, Pops is outside.
That's crazy. I rate that.
Yo, I'm dying because they were, and again they brought up how like he was at a game earlier with 2
I seen
pieces
that. I seen that
at the game.
Yeah,
so I'm like, yo, this man's shooting.
Yeah, I rate it.
Right? And you know, Dell been a shooter.
Yeah, it does, and it also helps that your son's like,
and their families are shooters.
Yeah.
Like, yo, and that's what Joe was saying, like, yo, that's where he gets it from. Shooters shoot, man. Shooters shoot, bro. Nah, but I found that absolutely hilarious about that entanglement when I found out about that detail that was the ex wife of the next man.
That's actually
like,
crazy. Remember that entanglement at on vacation where we're going to the that's an entanglement. And they came on the same trip.
Yo,
they all came together on a family vacation together. That is crazy.
Oh yes, at the ATV and shit.
And the zip lining.
Yo,
Yeah.
that was an
That's an entanglement. That's
entanglement. And we entangling and shit.
That's like a settlement entanglement. It's like
that is yo.
It's like
real,
you know what? It
real.
is what it is. Let's just lock in, and this is a cheaper way to just accept it.
For real, yo. All right, yo. I think that might be it. We'll end on that funny story right there. That's it. We got a lot of content in this episode 2 for those listening and watching. Sorry if it ran a little long. I promise you we were not expecting this to be this long, but you know what I mean, like I said, the pod gods gave us stuff to pod about, and we're podding about it. So that is it for this episode of the Brandon Correia podcast. I appreciate you guys for watching. My co-host.
Yep. Thank you for listening, guys. Appreciate it. Hope to see you on the next episode.
Hopefully, we see you on the next episode. And like I said, thank you for watching and listening. Like and subscribe. More of these podcasts to come, and I'm telling you, they're going to get better. I promise you. Thank you again for watching.
Thanks for listening, guys.